This is the district title that matters. This is the game fan bases will point to when talking about this season, and this is only round 2 of the KHSAA 5A state playoffs. Tonight, the Purples host the South Warren Spartans in a matchup to determine series supremacy and the chance to keep their title hopes alive. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Wendy's pregame show. My name is Joe Brunk. John Crosby here with me as well, and we are getting ready for tonight's matchup, which will feature the Purples and the Spartans. John, I got so hyped, I think I blew out all the volume on these things. I tell you what. But how are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm fired up. I'm ready for some football. You look around, and it is definitely going to be, the most highly attended game at the L this year. South Warren brought a strong contingent with more and more folks from both sides still pouring in here. So, big game, big night.
We're about 8.5 minutes away from getting things going here on the football field, and let's just jump into this, John. Before I get to the matchup and look at the teams and how they're playing coming into tonight's game, the big story coming into tonight's game, I think, really circled around one man in particular, one player in particular, and whether or not we'd see him on the field, and that player is South Warren's Caden Veldkamp. He was hurt early in this season. I believe he had 5 starts, got hurt in the game against Louisville Central, did not play the first time that these two teams met back in the regular season. A lot of people were thinking he might be back and be healthy to go in this second-round matchup, but the word in our pregame that people have been telling us is that he has not been cleared to go for tonight's contest.
Yeah, and as we watched him pregame, there was nothing on his wrist. He was in full uniform. He was warming up. He was actually taking every single rep that Willingham was taking alongside him. So I would be shocked. Maybe he doesn't start. I'd be shocked if he's not in this game at some point tonight.
Of course, he had a pretty good season before he got hurt in that game against Louisville Central. Before he got hurt, 927 passing yards and 15 touchdowns in 5 games. That's pretty good. That's not too shabby of a performance.
No,
Meanwhile,
not at all.
Willingham has stepped in. Again, second start was the game against Bowling Green. Struggled in that game. He had 3 interceptions. There was a fumble in that game as well. 4 turnovers that the Bowling Green defense forced. And the Purples only won that game 14-3, even with all those turnovers. So this could be still a very hotly contested game. Willingham has come in 6 starts. He's had 7 touchdowns, 732 passing yards. So they've still found ways to win games. They've continued to win. The only loss they have on the season is against Bowling Green. They've won all the others. In fact, the only loss in the past 2 seasons was that one game against Bowling Green. So this is a team that knows how to win football games, and even if the quarterback isn't able to go, they still know how to go out and win football games.
Yeah, and the thing that shocked me the most about last year was typically Bowling Green's the team that learns the most from a game and makes the most adjustments. And so the fact that, South Warren was able to come back and defeat the Purples after playing in the regular season, that was just kind of shocking. It'll be interesting to see who learned the most from this first go-around and what happens in this game.
Let's take a look at how these two teams are playing coming into tonight's game. Bowling Green 7-3 on the season so far. The last game was a win over Christian County 37-6. In that game, Connor Cooper had 141 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Reese Jones led the way defensively with 10 tackles, and he had an interception as well. South Warren comes in 10-1 on the season, beating Greenwood in the first round of the playoffs 33-11. Kobe Martin leading the offense at the running back position, 145 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Overall, the series is tied. Still a very young series, tied at 2 games apiece this season. Bowling Green won the earlier matchup, as I mentioned earlier in this broadcast. They won 14-3 in that game. It was the ground attack that was able to be effective against South Warren, particularly in the second half. J.V. Bunton with 86 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. The Purples defense, as we mentioned earlier, had 4 turnovers, 3 picks, 2 from Evan Spader, and a fumble recovery by Reese Jones. It was just the second start for Mason Willingham, who came in for Veldkamp, who was hurt in that game against Central. He was able to get the win over Glasgow before coming in against Bowling Green. And, of course, in the first matchup between these two teams, Max Payne actually got the start but he did not finish the game. Played the first half. Connor Cooper finished that game, and, well, Max Payne hadn't played until a few plays last week against Christian County.
Yeah, and the thing that worries me the most about that Christian County game is, the offense looked really good when things came easy, but when things were not coming as easy, Connor pushed, and he pushed into some bad throws, into some double, triple coverage. And so it concerns me about what happens with his mentality when things aren't just going smooth. You always take what the defense gives you. That's how you live to play another down. And so really need him not to push it too much tonight. And I'll be interested to see, they didn't give them equal reps in the game last week. So I'll be interested to see if they work Max in more or if they're going to keep Connor as the primary guy.
And we'll see if the thought process behind that has changed in the week leading up to this game. But last week we talked with Coach Devon Franklin, and he said, I think the thought is going forward, Connor's going to be our guy. He's, going to be at the spot. But it doesn't hurt to have a guy like Max who has those reps, who's been a starter, who knows how to go out and play this game if we need to use him, whether it's an injury with Connor or if just something isn't working offensively to have a fresh look at that spot. It's nice to have that option, and so they've certainly been giving him the reps this week in practice. But as far as the thought process is, Connor Cooper is the guy to run this offense, and we'll see what he's able to do against what has been a pretty good defense for South Warren. Again, I don't think it's quite the vaunted defense from the teams of the past couple years for South Warren, but they've only allowed 12 points per game. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that the biggest thing here is, again, Connor needs to play within himself, because this will be, exception of Trinity and, maybe St. X. This will be one of the best defenses they've faced this year. So, again, playing within themselves and not being tempted to make something miraculous happen, Trying not to be a highlight sometimes is the best way to play.
Yeah. As South Warren runs onto the field, about ready to get going, and Bowling Green about to run on as well. Let's jump into our keys of the game. They're brought to you by the Key Oil Company. And, John, I think it's going to be important. Bowling Green, when they were effective against South Warren last time, they were able to do it on the ground. I don't know if the ground game has to be the focal point of this offense, but I think it's got to be effective, because if it's not effective, they're going to have a hard time. It's going to be a long night for Bowling Green if guys like J.V. Bunton and Vi Collins aren't able to get going on the ground.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest thing the run game does is it helps keep them on the field. The longer they stay on the field, the longer the drives. I know in the past we've been an explosive, score hard, score deep, score fast type of team. I think tonight we need to be able to sustain drives. So let's hope the Purples can pull that off.
And then defensively, again, we've been told that Velkamp hasn't been clear that Willingham is the starter. If that's the case, I think the focal point for the defense is getting into that backfield, not necessarily – put pressure on Willingham because you may be able to get some turnovers like you did in the first matchup, but you've got to be able to contain Kobe Martin. He's been a guy all year long for them that has just been so good at that running back spot. They've got to find a way to slow him down. And if they can do that, regardless of who's starting at quarterback, I think that's going to be a key component for the defense.
Yeah, as good as the defense has been, if they've got one weakness, it's been shutting a team down in third and short. You've got to win some of those third and short battles on defense and get your guys off the field if you're going to win this game tonight.
And those are the keys to the game. They are brought to you by the Key Oil Company. Again, Joe Brunk, John Crosby here with you on stfanclub.com and on the Sporting Times YouTube channel. Glad you guys could join us on this brisk Friday evening. 36 degrees, clear skies here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Final 10 seconds ticking off the clock of this Wendy's pregame show. We've got you ready to go for this one. Bowling Green in the home purple uniforms with the gold helmets, white letters and numbers. South Warren in the visiting white uniforms with black letters and numbers, black pants, and the black helmets. Bowling Green will be going right to left here in the first quarter, and it will be the Purples who will receive to start the game. We'll have starting lineups during the first drive, but it's Eldar Dervisevich on to kick it away.
Interesting to see Fofana back deep tonight, starting us off.
And here comes the opening kick, and it is caught by Fofana. Getting out to the 15, tries to turn upfield to the 20, now to the 25, to the 30, still on his feet to the 35 before he's pushed out of bounds. And, well, that's why you look at a guy like Elvin Fofana. That kid can go.
Oh, there's no doubt. And you saw them start to build a wall for him over there, just like they did on that one punt return. They like going to that left side. But I'll tell you, this kid, Connor Mason, he's a senior DB for South. He took an angle, and if it weren't for him getting there to the edge, Fofana might have been gone.
So the Purples will start this drive on their own 36-yard line. 1st and 10 with the ball set up on the left hash mark. We'll get to the starting lineup after this play, but he's got a receiver to his left and 2 to the right. JV Bunton, the deep back. Here's the snap. Hand off to Bunton, looking for room in between the tackles. We'll pick up a few yards, moving up to the 39-yard line. Let's look at the starters for Bowling Green on the line.
There's no way.
Frank Jones, Jaron Franz, Donovan Green, Kenye Kofer, and Sam Napier. The wide receivers are Elvin Fofana, Scotty Brown, and Des Wilson. The running back, J.V. Button. The tight end, Jordan Dingle. And your quarterback is Connor Cooper. We'll get to the South Warren defense after this play. A gain of 4 on that last one. It's 2nd and 6. The ball just shy of the 40. 3 receivers on the right, 1 to the left in Elvin Fofana. And now Collins goes out a receiver, going 5 wide on this 2nd down play. Cooper settles in, throws a pass, catch by Fofana, just shy of the 1st down marker at the 44.
I like that, but, he had Vi. If he would have hit Vi in stride, Vi would have had the 1st down and a whole lot more, because you know how tough a full-speed Collins is to bring down. But now we got a 3rd and short. We got to convert.
3rd and short on the 44-yard line, still on the left hash mark. They bring another lineman down, still standing up, but set up on the line as Cooper looks towards the sideline for the play call. Got a running back on each side in the backfield. Now they switch spots. Collins on the right, Button to the left, and a receiver on each side as well. Here's the snap. Hand off to J.V. Button, looking to the right, and there's a wall. He cuts back towards the inside, and he's stuffed short at the 45-yard line. Gained a yard, but not enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, and what are we going to do here? If you look at the way they're going to bring in the punt team. If you look at the way the last game went, you might be tempted to go for it just because it was such a defensive battle, but they're sending the punting team out.
Eli Burwash gets the snap, running to the right side, and he's going to take it and run across the 45, gets the 1st down, diving across to the 48-yard line. Eli, and you saw the urgency of the punt squad getting out there, and that was to try to catch that punt return squad off balance, and Burwash gets the 1st down.
Absolutely. The great thing, we've talked about Eli. He's your Mr. Everything. He is extremely fast. He is not your typical punter. He's definitely the kind of kid, he can even throw it. Good quarterback. Yep. So great job, great conversion there. You knew at some point we were going to use that.
1st and 10. 1st down brought to you by McDonald's on the 48-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. As Cooper takes a snap, looking to his right, now has to scramble. Good blocker in front of him to free him in the backfield, but he just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard loss on the carry as just nobody got open.
Yeah, and we're in a rough part of the field. The field's in mostly good condition, but when you look at the 50 to the 30, where Bowling Green spends most of its time warming up pregame, it is really dirty right through here. They need to get about 10 yards before that field cleans up.
Loss of 2 on the play makes it 2nd and 12. The ball on the 46-yard line. Set up more towards the left hash mark with 2 receivers to the left. J.V. Button going in motion as Cooper now tucks it, runs up the middle. Gets a good chunk of yards across the 50 into South Warren territory, moving up to the Spartan 47-yard line. Let's look at the Spartan defense real quick. Jamison Reagan, Jake Jackson, Julian Boley, and Ethan Hildreth on the line. Luke Burton, Scotty Miller, Chidi Afam, and Dakota Lambriano, the linebackers. And defensive backfield, Tommy Mustafa, Connor Mason, Jansen Dunn, Jay Whalen. One of those guys isn't out there because I just read off 12 names. But those are the starters that the coach tends to send out. So
gotcha.
they like to rotate guys and move formations all throughout the game. 3rd and 5 on the 47 of South Warren. Gives off to J.V. Button. Cuts to the outside. Gets to the 40. Has room to run to the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Bowling Green. J.V. Button, a 47-yard run.
Boy, you got to like that. You got to like that. You got to like Coach Lightning on the sideline, trying to keep his boys reeled in and keep them on the sideline, keep them from getting the sideline warning. They were fired up.
Just like that, JV Button helped set up getting it into South Warren territory. Actually, he was on the out route that kind of let Cooper run up the middle to get it into Spartan territory, and then 47 yards later, he's in for the touchdown, which is brought to you by Toyota of Bowling Green.
I don't know what it is about the point after, but we always have somebody missing.
And the kick's on the way, and it's up. It was an awkward kick, but it goes through, and it puts the Purples up 7-0. Let's take this time to thank one of our sponsors, Mid-South Lumber and Supply. Professional building materials and services. They have everything you'll need for any project and size. Windows, doors, paint and design center, lumber, roofing, shingles, molding and trim installation, siding and gutters, electrical and plumbing. Providing superior service and quality products since 1962. Delivered when and where you need them. Mid-South Lumber and Supply. We're more than wood. JV Bunn, 47-yard run to the end zone. Puts the Purples up early, 7-0 with 8:11 remaining in the first.
Well, and I like to see that design run they did with Connor. That's the great thing about having two quality starting, quarterbacks that could start this game. It gives you a little more freedom to be more aggressive at the quarterback spot with him keeping the ball. And so I'd like to see some more of that design run. That really opens up the edge and the outside and the passing game.
Again, that drive staying alive because of Eli Burwash fake punt and run. I was able to pick up a first down for Bowling Green. We'll see how South Warren responds with their first drive of the game. A kickoff return up to the 24.
Like we hoped, a good job by the special teams of Bowling Green.
Reese Jones on the tackle, Tommy Mustafa on the return. Let's take a look at that starting lineup for South Warren. On the line on offense, Logan Carafa, Justin Bowen, Seth Hall, Colt Jackson, and John French. Wide receiver, Tommy Mustafa, Carson Hickman, and Avon Bell. Tight end is Nathan Neal, the running back Kobe Martin, and your starting quarterback is Caden Veltkamp. So again, we were told pregame he was not cleared. Here he is starting the first snap for the South Warren offense, and it's a hand up the middle. The Purples don't bite on the play fake, and they tackle him right there for no gain on the play.
Well, and I guarantee you that Spader was prepared and expecting number 3 to start. I have no doubt about that. And, if I'm Brandon, Coach Smith, I play that the same way. I keep my cards close to my vest till I absolutely have to, reveal it. So I don't blame him. That's how it's done.
2nd and 10. Ball on the 25-yard line. 2 receivers set up on the left. Going to run it back to the right side in Kobe Martin, and looks like the offense not quite set. They're going to use a timeout here as time is running low on the play clock, and Veltkamp was just kind of looking around and not quite seeing what he was wanting to see.
Yeah, and I think that, who knows, maybe some of this is from him being out as long as he's been out. When I was watching him pregame, he was hitting the short out routes really tight with a lot of touch, but he was overthrowing more than 75% of those intermediate and deep balls. So he obviously needs a little more time out there. But I think his leadership is why they put him in there, and he's got a little bit more ability, obviously, throwing the ball.
Purple's defense on the line: Nathan Trawick, Bridger Nee, Terrian Thompson, Keaton Oldham. Linebackers Reese Jones, Kendall Pearson, and Vito Tisdale. In the defensive backfield, Eli Burwash, Tucker Prescore, and Evan Spader, and Jacob Deglow. 7:24 remaining in the first quarter. Bowling Green leading 7-0. 2nd and 10 with the ball on the 25. Here comes the snap. Fake the handoff. Ball's loose, but dive on top of it is Veltkamp. Spartans control it, but lose a couple yards in the process.
Yeah, and again, I think we're definitely seeing some issues here related to the time he's spent out of rotation of reps there with the injury. Interesting, if you talk to players and students there at South Warren, they talk about how bad he wanted back for this game. So don't expect him to lay down and give up should things not go his way early. He's been gunning to come back for this game in particular, so I expect him to give it all.
Loss of 2 on the play makes it 3rd and 12. Veltkamp takes a snap, screen pass, catch made out of the backfield, now looking for room on the right side. Brought down short of the first down marker, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, it looked like out there on the edge that one of the receivers was holding. They looked like they were both holding. Actually, you could have called it on either one of them, but now not sure where that.
It was like Jansen Dunn was the receiver on that play. But if it's a penalty against South Warren, you'd imagine Bowling Green would turn it down and make it a 4th down opportunity.
Oh.
It's a false start against South Warren. So
That's, it's interesting. I kind of, it looked like the entire line moved a little early, but I thought they'd missed it.
It's like, don't you stop the play in that situation?
You're supposed to, yeah.
So instead of it being a 4th down and the opportunity to turn it down, they just move it back 5 yards, making it 3rd and 17 with the ball on the South Warren 18-yard line.
Yeah, and don't look for them to throw it deep here. Look for, if they do any kind of throwing, look for some kind of short screen game here.
2 receivers on each side for Veldkamp. He's got Kobe Martin to his left in the backfield. Ball set up on the left hash mark. Here's the snap. Veldkamp dropping back, looking to throw under pressure. Keaton Odom getting through, but he gets blocked to the turf. Veldkamp buying tons of time, throws it, and it is into the South Warren sideline, incomplete. I mean, you got to give applaud for his scrambling ability to buy time, but how about the Purple's backfield?
Well,
one, putting pressure on him, but also staying on the receiver so there wasn't anyone really open.
Yeah, and they did a great job of sending a delayed blitz. They moved the linebacker out to coverage, but he only took 2 steps with him and then released to seal this other edge and forced Veldkamp to go back to his left.
So it brings up 4th down. And now the officials calling time here before the punt about to get underway.
It was a big deal. That was Bert Kabawa. Is that how you say his name? I mean, that's a freshman kid out there on the first defensive drive for the Purples.
5:42 remaining in the first quarter. Bowling Green with a 7-0 advantage. Of course, the Purples had a 4th down. They elected to fake the punt and were able to convert, get the touchdown a few plays later. South Warren forced to kick it away as they're deep in their own territory. Here comes the kick. It gets away, a little bit rushed, and it's going to take a South Warren bounce across the 45 to the Bowling Green 43. That's where it's touchdown, and that's where the Purples will take over this drive.
Well, I'd like to see a good rhythm and a good balance like they had on this first drive. Heavy on the run. Using the pass when they need to. But, heck, if you can keep continuing to move the line, why not keep the ball on the ground, run some clock, and try to wear down this defensive front?
See a lot more of the 2 running back set from Bowling Green so far in this game with both Collins and Bunton in the backfield with Cooper, and that's what we see again here. Dingle in motion from right to left before the snap, and here it comes. A handoff to Collins, running to the left side, bowls over a defender, gets across the 45 up to the 46, a gain of 3 on the carry. That defender was knocked down on a blocking play, and Collins just said, well, I'll just run over him too.
Yeah, by having those couple guys in the backfield, you wonder if that maybe has something to do with protection. Of course, on that play, they used the one backer to block out front.
2nd and 7. Ball on the Bowling Green 46-yard line, set up on the left hash mark. 2 receivers on each side for Connor Cooper in the gun. Here's the snap. Hand off to J.V. Bunton, looking for room up the middle, and he's stuffed at the 45. Loss of a yard on the play. They're going to give him back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain, but it'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, pretty big 3rd down here, too. Last time we had a design run on this 3rd and 6 or 7.
3rd and 7, ball on the Bowling Green 46. 3 receivers to the right, 1 in Fofana to the left. Here's the snap. Cooper looking to his right, under pressure, has to run. He's brought down in the backfield, shakes some guys, but not able to shake 3, 4 South Warren defenders in the backfield, and it's a big loss on the play, and the punt squad will have to come out for Bowling Green.
Yeah, that time, I mean, if you're the quarterback and you're out of the pocket like that, you got to get rid of the ball. You really don't want to take a sack this deep. This really changes the field position quite a bit.
Burwash out to punt, and the Purples shift their formation. They'll have Collins in as kind of a middle blocker on that second line. Here's the snap. And the kick gets away clean.
Good kick.
Nice punt by Burwash. And here comes the return man. Gets past the initial tackler, not the second one, though. And he'll be brought down at the 37-yard line. And, of course, Reese Jones on the tackle.
Vito overran him. He was gunning hard and overran the kid. But you're not going to – if you're in an open field tackle with Reese Jones, you're going to lose that battle. And Reese brought him down hard.
3:37 remaining in the first quarter. Bowling Green leading 7-0. Purple scored on their first drive of the game on a 47-yard run by J.V. Bunton.
It's good to see Tucker Priesthorn back out here down on the left.
3 receivers on the right-hand side for South Warren. No one on the left. Veldkamp in the gun, and now he sends Jansen Dunn to be a receiver on the left-hand side. Here's a snap, and that's the side he's looking towards, and it goes through the hands of his intended target, Gavin Graw, incomplete.
So they motioned a guy out there, and then they sent him deep to kind of draw the defenders back, created an opening for that tight end who slid out of the line there, but he just didn't make a great pass there.
Let me correct myself. It wasn't Graw, the intended target. That's a tight end, Chidi Afam, who was the intended target. Falls incomplete, makes it 2nd and 10 on the South Warren 37-yard line. Same formation, 3 receivers on the right, now receiver set up there on the left. Kobe Martin in the backfield to the right side of Veldkamp. Here's a snap, hand off to Martin, run up the middle. Purples bottle it up. Minimal gain on the play. And now the fans making some noise afterwards, and here comes a flag afterwards. And the Purples clapping it up on the field, and the Purples fans making some noise as well.
Yeah, of course, this is what concerns us about this rivalry, the personal fouls.
Personal foul against South Warren. So it's going to move the Spartans backwards, and that was a big part of this matchup last year, John, and really was a big thing for the Purples as a team last year. Just a lot of after the play personal foul penalties, but this year significantly better in that category.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they just needed a couple games under their belt. If you knew how long these two teams have been wanting to play each other, it was I think it's going to be a more reasonable game. We'll see from here on out.
Ball has been moved back to the 22-yard line. 3rd and 25. Veldkamp going 5 wide here, takes a snap, looking towards his right, throw, and it is knocked away, incomplete.
What a play.
Great coverage there by Kendall Pearson.
Kendall closed on that ball, the perfect time, no holding, made a play on the ball just as equally as the receiver. No penalty there. Great job.
And that brings out the punt squad again for South Warren. They've been forced to punt on both of their possessions so far. Bowling Green with 2 guys back to receive now, and Des Wilson and Vito Tisdale. Here's the snap. Punt. Gets away. High kick. Des waves him off, calls a fair catch, and Purples will start this drive just in South Warren. Nope, they're just going to set it on the 50. So right on the middle of the field, over on that right hash mark, Bowling Green's got 50 yards to pay dirt, try to make this a 2-score lead.
Yeah, I tell you, this is as bad as the offense is playing right now for South Warren. This is what we talked about earlier. Their defense is keeping them in the game. Bowling Green is making fewer mistakes offensively, but they're not moving the ball, this second drive. So let's see if they can put something together this drive.
Want to remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Crossroads IGA and Graves Gilbert Clinic, WKONA. 1st and 10, ball on the 50, set up on the right hash mark. Here's a snap. Cooper dropping back, throwing up the middle, tapped up in the air, falls incomplete.
Ooh.
That one got dicey after the touch, but the Purples keep the possession and brings up 2nd down.
Boy, it sure did. Number 12 for South Warren bent his back over backwards to try to reach that tip ball. Just a little high from Connor Cooper there with a lot of heat on it.
2:49 left here in the first quarter.
And that's how you got to throw that ball in there. That type of pass has got to be a dart. You can't throw that as a touch pass.
2 receivers to the left. Here's the snap. Hand off to J.V. Bunton, looking up the middle. Gets up to the 49, so he gains a yard, but it makes it 3rd and 9.
I think they keep going between the tackles just because either they want to, wear it down and open up something there, or they're just keeping them honest and making sure they run a balanced game of inside and out.
They give Button 2 on the carry. Makes it 3rd and 8 on the South Warren 48-yard line. 2 receivers on each side for Cooper in the gun. J.V. Button set up to the right of Cooper in the backfield. Here's the snap, fakes the handoff. Cooper dropping back, plenty of time. Flying deep for Fofana, overthrown, incomplete.
Oh, my goodness. Fofana had that route perfect, and it was definitely an overthrow because, Fofana can catch up to just about any ball. So if he couldn't get there, it was just a hair overthrown. Yeah, so
track star for Bowling Green. The kid's got some wheels. You saw it on the kickoff return to start off the game. That one just not able to get to it.
Perfect play call.
Brings up 4th down. Burwash on to punt it away. Here's the snap, a low snap. Punt gets away clean, though. Another nice punt for Burwash. A fair catch called at the 15. So South Warren taking over on the 15-yard line. Scotty Miller on the reception there for the Spartans. Take this time to thank a sponsor, Wendy's, proud sponsor for local high school athletics. They encourage you guys, if you're on the road looking for some food, stop on by a Wendy's in Bowling Green, Glasgow, or Franklin and enjoy a filling $4 for $4 meal deal. Speaking of Franklin and Glasgow, both those teams in action tonight. Glasgow taking on Taylor County and Franklin Simpson taking on Allen County Scottsville. Some big matchups going on in the area. If we get scores for those, we'll bring them to you. 2:04 remaining in the first quarter of this one. Bowling Green leading 7-0. Now for the third drive for South Warren. Handoff to Kobe Martin, and he moves it up close to the 20. 5-yard gain. That's probably his best run of the night so far.
Yeah, no doubt. They would take that every down if they could get it.
Pearson in on the tackle for Bowling Green. Makes it 2nd and 5. Ball on the 20, hedging more towards the left hash mark for South Warren. Spartans deep in their own territory with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Here's the snap. Velkamp dropping back, looking to throw, goes to the receiver. Martin goes over the wrong shoulder, incomplete. Again, Martin kind of turned at an angle. Velkamp, it came at a kind of an awkward angle for Martin to be able to catch. And
Velkamp was, he was accurate with that pass during warm-ups. Of course, it's a different game when you're deep into your own side of the end zone there.
3rd and 5. Ball on the 20-yard line. Same formation. Well, they have 2 receivers instead on the right side, 1 to the left. Here comes the snap. Velkamp looking to his left, and it's intercepted. Miscommunication there between Velkamp and his receiver. The hesitation by that intended target, which was Carson Hickman, but Jacob Deglow able to cut the route after that and gets the interception.
Well, and it's exactly what you said. There was something. It was a little hitch that he made that allowed Deglow to close in on that ball. I don't know if the receiver wasn't where he expected him to be, but he went ahead and threw the ball, and, that could end up costing them big time.
1:40 remaining in the first quarter. Bowling Green leading 7-0. Defense for Bowling Green has been strong, just forcing early punts and now get their first turnover of the game. Here comes a snap to Connor Cooper. Pitch back to J.V. Button on the run to the left side. Can't quite find the opening. Gets across the 30 and basically gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that carry by Button.
Yeah, this defense is playing lights out right now for South Warren. They're not allowing anything up the middle, not allowing anything on the edge. At some point, the Purples are going to have to trust Connor's arm and throw something, either, maybe some screen action or I love that slant they ran earlier.
15 seconds on the play clock as Bowling Green tries to get settled in. Fofana and Dingle set up on the left side. 2 receivers to the right as well. J.V. Button, the running back in the backfield. Here's a snap. Handoff to Button. Looking to get to the right side. Does so. And we're going to have a flag here in the backfield. There's going to be a hold in the backfield. The official took his sweet time, but I was watching him as soon as Button broke out to the right side. There was a hold there on the line as one of the linemen got a hold of the collarbone
Gotcha.
of a rusher for South Warren. and the official just took a little bit of time to get that flag out of his pocket to throw it. But,
yeah.
I saw that one coming pretty early in the run.
Yeah, you can disguise a hold if you get up under the arms and the shoulder pads, but not up on the collar.
Yep. And that's where the pull was. It was right there on the collar, on the front of the jersey, and it was on the side that Cooper ended up running to, or Button ended up running to break off the big run. So that one comes back.
Both of these offenses having to make several plays from way behind the sticks here. Makes it difficult to get anything done.
Sign of two good defenses playing each other. 90 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Running back on each side for Cooper as he takes the snap. Dropping back, has plenty of time. Now steps in the pocket, throws the quick out route to, I believe that was Button. He catches and falls forward to the 40. So he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no gain on the play. And will make it third and very long after that holding penalty.
Yeah, they're just really hesitant to throw anything around the second level there, the defense. But we've got some guys who can catch those high balls. Jordan Dingle, Elvin Fofana, Zach Brazel.
On the left. Two to the right. As Cooper takes a snap. Draw back, now steps in the pocket, flies it deep, looking for Scotty Brown. Jumps up incomplete. And that'll bring up fourth down. Two defenders on Brown on that one. And a little bit high for Brown as well.
Yeah, a little bit high. Possibly if he'd have timed it. I mean, he would have had to, pull an ESPN highlight timing on that jump, though.
So 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Bowling Green looks to be forced to punt again. Not able to capitalize off of the turnover by Jacob Deglow. Eli Burwash on to kick it away, and that was kind of the story of Bowling Green in the first matchup between these two teams, forcing a lot of turnovers in the first half, but did not score in that first half against South Warren. Here comes the punt. This one going to be a shorter one. It is high up in the air, and it is going to take a South Warren bounce, so it's touchdown inside the 20.
Yeah, good job by Keaton Olden of jumping on that ball and stopping it from losing any more ground. Gaining more ground for the South Warren Spartans.
Take this time to thank a sponsor, State Farm Insurance, dependable and knowledgeable agency. Customers looking for real protection and long-term relationships. Having one special person for your car, home, and life insurance lets you get down to business with the rest of your life. We're State Farm. It's what we do. 24/7, 365. Go to a better state. Contact an agent today. Call Jonathan McDaniel, 270-842-5556. Or Ginger Cleary at 270-72-72-76. 26 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's the snap. Veldkamp with the handoff up the middle. And there's not a lot of running space to go. He'll gain a couple, but it's tough sledding there running up the middle.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, the thing that worries me the most is the longer this defense keeps South Warren in this game, the more reps Veldkamp gets under his belt, the more comfortable he's going to be back at that quarterback position. And you got to think at some point he's going to heat up. So the 7 points is just not going to cut it. We got to get more space.
At the end of the first, it's Bowling Green 7, South Warren nothing. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with the second quarter here on stfanclub.com, part of the Sporting Times Broadcast Network.
Honey?
Yeah?
Can you go to the store and get some ground beef?
Sure.
Hey, that's a lot of bags.
I figured while I was out, I would get groceries for the whole week.
Ground beef included in that?
Did I?
Oh, Crossroads IGA has everything you need in one convenient location. Crossroads IGA, a fresh way to shop.
Graves Gilbert Clinic and Western Kentucky Orthopedic and Neurosurgical Associates. Two organizations coming together as one team to provide the best sports medicine care for South Central Kentucky. Local physicians caring for athletes of all ages. From youth sports to weekend warriors to college and professional athletics, our physicians can get you back in action. When an injury sidelines your favorite athlete, we offer the same expert care that's provided to professional and Division I college athletes. Call today to get you back in action sooner.
And welcome back to the action. Right back to it here on stfanclub.com, the Sporting Times YouTube channel. Joe Brunk, John Crosby here with you. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Crossroads IGA and Graves Gilbert Clinic WKONA Sports Medicine. 1 yard pickup there on the run. will make it 3rd and 8. The ball set up on the 21-yard line.
Both teams have been really struggling to gain any yardage on 1st and 2nd down.
5 wide for Veltkamp, 3rd and 8 on the 21. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Here's the snap, looking left. Veltkamp lets it fly, and he's caught, but tackled immediately by Jacob Deglow, shy of the 1st down. The catch made by Carson Hickman.
Deglow doing a good job tonight. You know, you can tell by the way they're throwing that ball around. They're picking on Deglow a little bit tonight, and he came to play, Joe. He came to play.
Back to receive. 1 man back for Bowling Green. That's Dez Wilson. Purples may be looking to try to bring an extra rusher up on this, try to get a block. They've been close a couple of times tonight. Here comes the snap. It bounces, goes through the hands, and now gets the tackle in the backfield, and the Purples are going to take over inside the red zone at the 5-yard line. The low snap going through the hands of Eldar Dervisevich, and Bowling Green set up in prime position.
Well, I tell you what, you know, we talk about the 2 phases of our game, special teams and defense. Just, man, they have been playing lights out for weeks now. We do get hot on offense. We go as far as they'll take us.
That's the question for Bowling Green this year. The defense has been so good. The question is, how will the offense respond to pressure? Let's see how they do here. Connor Cooper back out at quarterback for Bowling Green with J.V. Bunton to his right. The ball is set up on the 6. 3 receivers bunched on the left-hand side. 1 receiver and Scotty Brown to the right. Here's a snap. Cooper running to the right, gets inside the 5, takes it in, touchdown Bowling Green. 6-yard run by Connor Cooper.
First play from scrimmage, designed run for Connor Cooper. Couldn't have gone any better. Great blocking there on the right side. That's the kind of momentum we need, and that's the kind of space that we need to put offense-wise. It's going to be one of those nights where coming back from being 2 touchdowns down is going to be a challenge. So that puts us definitely with the edge here.
That touchdown brought to you by Toyota of Bowling Green. Dalton Major on for the extra point. Dez Wilson, the holder. Here's the snap. Kick gets away. That one looking awkward as well. Hits off the post. No good. Both kicks have not been that clean for Bowling Green, and that one bouncing off the post, and that could be a big turning point in this game.
We know they kick off of a block, and there's a lot of messed up turf there around where they set that block, and that could have something to do with when they set the ball down on the block. Because Dalton Major has been just spot on from the extra point. So you got to think maybe field condition has something to do with this.
Big thanks to one of our sponsors, Lawton Insurance. Today, Lawton Insurance has provided thousands of Kentuckians with affordable insurance coverage and unparalleled customer service. Whether your needs are simple or complex, individual or commercial, Lawton Insurance is dedicated to providing you with the appropriate insurance solution at an affordable price while forming with you a relationship built on trust and confidence that is sure to stand the test of time. Contact them today to find out how they can serve your insurance needs. Lawton Insurance, 270-282-2411. 10:25 remaining in the second quarter. A 6-yard touchdown run by Connor Cooper puts the Purples up by 2 score. Major on for the kickoff here. This one, clean kick inside the 5, and the return by Mustafa gets to the 15.
Oh, what a tackle!
What a tackle indeed.
Shoestring tackle there by number 23.
Seth Rainville.
Great job by Rainville. Boy, you talk about some serious special teams play tonight by the Purples.
Again, South Warren starting a drive very deep in their own territory. This one inside the 20 once more, back on the 14-yard line. They have not had great field position tonight. Bowling Green has really controlled this field so far, John.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me tell you what, it's bad enough they've been playing behind the sticks a lot, but starting here so deep in their own territory, you can't imagine that they're going to take too many risks here.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Kobe Martin to the right side of Veltkamp in the gun. Here's the snap. A handoff to Kobe Martin, looking to run up the middle. He gets across the 15. He'll get to the 16 before he's brought down. Gain of 2 on the carry.
You can tell by the way he runs, though, that Martin could break it at any time.
He can.
He could break it at any time.
And that's kind of been the story for really 3 out of the 4 of these games, John. They've been, well, I'll say 2 out of the 4. Bowling Green won by a large margin in the first ever meeting. The second meeting was really dictated by big plays. And the same could be said about the regular season matchup this year.
Yeah.
That big play capability. Who's going to make the big play? So far, it's been Bowling Green. Velkamp in the gun. He's got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2nd and 8 from the 16. Screen pass. Caught. Jukes one defender. Gets past another one. And, well, the blocker for South Warren tried to pull him forward, but it's a no-go. Back to the 15. There's no gain on that play.
Man, great job that time. He shook. He actually absolutely broke Vito's ankles on that one. Vito went flying by. But didn't get much after that. Everybody closed pretty strong.
Player comes up limping for Bowling Green, and it's Reese Jones.
I feel
now
like
he'll go to the turf.
I feel like it's been 3rd and 8 on both sides.
Kendall Pearson's going to check back into the game. Trainer's going to have to come out and take a look at Jones. He tried to get up and get off the field on his own power, and then about 5 yards later decided he just needed to go down and have a trainer take a look at him there on the field.
Looks a lot like a gut shot.
And that is a big loss for this Purple's defense. If
you
it
ain't
is,
kidding.
If he's not able to go the rest this way, he leads the team with 116 total tackles, a fumble recovery, and an interception on the season.
Actually, they're looking at his knee now. It's not a great sign that he couldn't bend it.
Yeah, he came out limping and was trying to get back to the sideline on his own, tried to jog on it even.
Here he comes.
And then came down. So he gets up and he kind of steps
Might
it a
be
little bit.
One of those, you get hit in the shin sometimes and you feel like you've shattered your leg. Could have been one of those shin nicks with a cleat.
Yeah, so he'll come off to the side. I tell you what, there's few spots on the body that are as sensitive as a shin bone.
There's no doubt.
I'm telling you right now.
And how many tackles are you losing with just this one player being out of the game?
Well, on the season, 116, John.
Yeah,
I mean, said it a moment ago.
That's just amazing.
9:09 remaining in the first half. Bowling Green leading 13-0. It's 3rd and 8 for South Warren on their own 16-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 5 wide again for this South Warren offense, and here's the snap. Thrown to the right side, going deep, and it's incomplete. Thrown deep into the South Warren bench. That one had no shot.
How about Jordan Dingle out there playing defensive end that last play?
Dingle, he's been a kid that a lot of schools have been looking at. He's probably going to end up at a Division I school somewhere.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt.
Here in the next couple of years. I believe he's just a junior this season. Hopefully he comes out for basketball. He was a great asset for the basketball team last year as well. But the punt squad out here for South Warren. Kick gets away, almost blocked again.
Good one there. Let's see if
Dez just going to let it bounce. Takes a South Warren roll past the 45 to the 44-yard line on the Spartan side of the field.
Yeah, Dez isn't afraid to pick it up off the bounce, but it just didn't. It bounced away from him.
Yeah.
It would have been impossible.
Bounced low and away. Would have been real tough to scoop it up. And plus, there was a few South Warren guys already there on top of it. Wouldn't have been the best move to go. So the young man learning that position well. And, I mean, he came out so well at the beginning of the season. He was one of the tops in 5A in touchdown receptions after the first half of the season. It's kind of cooled down in that regard, but he's going to be a playmaker for quite some years, John.
Oh, absolutely. And he's got about 4 inches on his brother who's just playing lights out in the OVC for Austin Peay right now.
1st and 10 for Bowling Green on their own 44. They hand it off up the middle, getting up to about the 45. JV Bunton on the carry.
Right now, I want to keep it on the ground. I don't want that clock to stop for any reason. The way our defense is playing, we don't need to do anything crazy, anything explosive. Just play within ourselves.
Burton on the tackle for South Warren. 1 yard gain for Bowling Green. Makes it 2nd and 9. Ball set up, hedging towards that right hash mark on their own 45-yard line. Scotty Brown, receiver on the right side. Dingle on that side as well with 2 receivers set up on the left. Cooper takes a snap, drop back, looking to throw. Does so to the flat. Caught by Zach Brassel for a gain of a couple up to the 49.
Great grab by Brazel. And, we talked about just a moment ago of running that clock. They're definitely waiting until they get down within 10 on the play clock before they pull the trigger. Brazel had to make a heck of a grab there. It's a shame he hadn't been healthy all season. There's no telling what he would have done for us this year.
3rd and 5. It's a long 5 here, set up on the backside of that 49-yard line. Need to get up to the South Warren 46. Cooper running to the outside, gets past one defender, but does not find room to run past the line of scrimmage, and he's brought down for a loss on 3rd down.
Yeah, doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. I can't imagine we're going to go for it here. And here comes the punt team. Smart move.
7 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Bowling Green leading 13-0. Again, last time these two teams met, Bowling Green won 14-3. Taylor County leading Glasgow 7-0 in the second quarter. Punt by Burwash and a fair catch made at the 20.
Well, and if I'm Miller, I'm feeling pretty upset with myself about calling a fair catch on that. That actually would have been a great ball to catch on the run and go.
Trying to find some other scores from the area. Franklin Simpson 14, Allen County Scottsville 7, with 9 minutes left in the second quarter.
Franklin Simpson has really made something out of their season after looking horrendous early on.
Yeah, dropped their first 5, I believe. Came back and swept through the district and now looking to claim that district title. Fortunately, because of the way they started the season, they're looking to go on the road the remainder of the playoffs. Yeah. But that's kind of the trend for all the teams in the area.
That's true.
Here's the snap. Veldkamp with the throw. Catch made at the 35, or the 25, excuse me, and brought down shy of the sticks on the first down. But that's been about the best first down play that you've seen from South Warren so far tonight.
Oh, no doubt, and a great accurate pass by Veldkamp. And again, as I talked about, the longer he's in here, the more he's going to get comfortable and feel like he's back into his old comfortable spot there sitting in the pocket. So we're going to have to be playing strong all night because he is going to get hot here.
Ball set up on the 28, 2nd and 2. Here's the snap, handoff up the middle to Kobe Martin, wrapped up at the line. He'll dive forward, getting up to just shy of the 30. So he'll be shy of the first down, but it's 3rd and inches. Reese Jones back out there on the field for Bowling Green, making the tackle.
The interior for both these squads on defense has been kind of a highlight of tonight's game. Nobody has had anything between the tackles tonight. Are they measuring? Are they asking for the sticks here, the chains?
The blind eye here looks like it's short.
Yeah.
But the officials kind of eyeing it from the field, and they're going to bring out the sticks. 5:52 remaining. Big thanks from our friends at McDonald's. Did you know that the Burl journey at McDonald's began in 1974 with the opening of their first restaurant in Franklin, Kentucky? Paul Burl, a second-generation owner-operator, began the family business with his father, Jim Burl, and from that one store, other siblings joined the business and have branched off to their own areas throughout Kentucky and Tennessee. The Burls have always looked at their business as a people business first and a hamburger business second. This is one of the many area McDonald's today. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And it is, in fact, 3rd and inches. Ball on the 29, really just right in between the 29 and the 30. Veldkamp in the gun. 3 receivers to his left. Here's a snap, handoff to Martin up the middle. Has the first down. Stays on his feet for a couple more yards, getting it up to the 32. 33, excuse me. Gain of 4 on the play.
Good effort there by the Spartans. Desperately needing to keep that drive going. They weren't in a position on the field that they could probably go for it on 4th down and feel comfortable, so they get a new set of downs.
5:40 remaining in the first half. Bowling Green leading 13-0. Spartans picking up one of the few first downs that they've had in this game so far. Here comes Mustafa in motion from right to left, be his second receiver on the left-hand side, throwing to the left, and it's almost intercepted by Jacob Dalo. He read that perfectly, but the pass was short. Otherwise, Deglow had the interception.
And that was one of those that the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, no, don't do it, don't do it. He just waited way too late and threw that ball way too easy.
Makes it 2nd and 10.
And again, they're going to learn the hard way. Picking on Jacob Deglow, he's ready tonight.
Would have been his 2nd of the game had he been able to reel that one in. Instead, it's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 33. 3 receivers again on the left-hand side. Here's the snap. Fake the handoff to Martin. And a quick throw up the middle and gets a big gain and another first down. Chidi Afam on the reception for South Warren. And that time you saw the defense bite on that handoff to Martin, which opened up the route for Afam.
Yeah, Spader, gave him a bump at the line and then let him through, and the receiver was able to release into some open grass there. And a good job that time of zipping that ball in there from Velkamp.
This might be the first time, if South Warren picks up another yard, that the Spartans have been on the Bowling Green side of the field. Here's a snap, handoff to Martin, gets up the middle, and he's gone. Off to the races, but he's tripped up there at the second line. I believe that's Burwash on the tackle for Bowling Green. But, man, Martin just found a big gap in that line and took off for big yards.
Boy, he sure did, and that was the longest run of the night for Martin, and we talked about his breakaway ability, and you saw it right there. He came out of that line, he disappeared, and then came flying out of that line. Had 10 yards before they even thought about touching him.
And this is the offense that you thought you might see from South Warren with Velkamp out there at quarterback, moving efficiently, picking up first downs and marching down the field. Now on the Bowling Green 35-yard line. Here's a snap, handoff to Martin, big gap up the middle. Again, this time getting close to the 20 before he's brought down by a couple of purples.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing differently, that offensive line, but they are creating some space in there.
And that middle of the field had been closed off for so much of this first half. And so it'd be curious to see what exactly they're doing there to open that up. But 2 runs in a row for Martin, and he's been able to just run a truck up there. 1st and 10 again, ball on the 20-30.
I don't think he would have had much more than that anyway, but, hey, we'll take that yardage right there. We'll take it at the 31.
We'll see how the offense for Bowling Green responds here. Again, the first drive of the game took about 4 minutes, ended with a 47-yard run by J.V. Button. And they did not score again until the beginning of the second quarter, where the Purples took over on the 6-yard line of South Warren. Was able to punch it in one play later from Connor Cooper. Cooper back out at quarterback for Bowling Green. 3 receivers to the left, 1 on the right, and Scotty Brown. J.V. Button in the backfield at running back. Now goes out as a receiver, going 5 wide for Bowling Green. Here's a snap, looking to his right, up the seam, looking for Button, incomplete.
Yeah,
Button
there was
looking for a flag, not going to get it there.
That was bunting all the way, and again, if I'm Cooper, I'm reading that and seeing that it, complete coverage. He went ahead and threw it anyway. That's kind of what, again, pressing, trying to get it done with 2 minutes left on the clock. You still don't want to make errant throws.
2nd and 10, ball on the 31-yard line. 3 receivers bunched on the left-hand side.
That wheel route out of the backfield right now, B.
Here's a snap, handoff to Dez Wilson, trying to run with it. He gets about a yard up to the 32 before he's hit.
I wouldn't mind a wheel route into the boundary right now from Bunton. We've run that before with some success. Almost had it against Trinity, but he just overthrew him a little bit. He would have been gone to the house.
Gives the gain of 2. Marks the ball at the 33-yard line. 3rd and 8. So the Purples need to get up to the 41. Their own side of the field, 2 receivers on each side for Connor Cooper. There's a running back to his left and J.V. Button. Here's a snap. Cooper dropping back, throwing left, looking deep, and he's went to the opposite shoulder Fofana was looking at. Fofana was looking over his inside shoulder. The pass goes to the outside, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, and it's hard to say who was right or wrong on that, but suffice it to say, neither team is having a whole lot of success throwing the ball deep right now.
Burwash to punt it away here. South Warren, I believe, has 2 timeouts And we'll take over with 1:15 on the clock, see what kind of return we get.
Oh,
Ball pops
coughs it
out.
up.
Ball pops out, still scrambling for it. I don't know who came up with it. Bowling Green saying
Bowling
they
Green
have
has
it.
it. Scotty
Brown comes up with it from the scrum.
Referees are still looking for the ball. They don't realize Scotty gave it back to him about a minute ago.
And there
it's
it is.
Purple's ball.
Purple's football. So on the first punt return by South Warren tonight,
And
they end up fumbling the ball.
some time just came off the clock there. I don't know why.
Well, it was 1:15 when the play started. It's now 1:01 on the game clock here. And the Purple's offense will come back out on the field. So they were able to capitalize off a fake punt to keep a drive alive. Can they capitalize on a fumbled punt to keep a drive alive?
All 3 timeouts, a minute left.
Cooper in the gun. 3
Showing
receivers
blitz
wide
here.
to the left. Here's a snap and a flag.
Yeah, they were feeling that blitz awful hard, and unless they were in the neutral zone. Yeah.
It is.
They sure were.
Offsides against South Warren. Moving it up 5 yards on the South Warren side of the field to the 43. Same formation. Scotty Brown, the lone receiver on the right-hand side. You've got Brassel, Dingle, and Fofana on the left. Button, the running back on the right side. Here's the snap. Cooper looking to his right. Little hitch and go route overthrown.
Mercy.
Scotty Brown, the hesitation, got his defender on his heels and then took off to get the opening, but Cooper overthrows it and it goes incomplete.
Yeah, I think that was definitely some miscommunication because there's no way that Cooper overthrew him by 15 yards by accident. There's probably some miscommunication on the route there.
Brings up 2nd and 5 on the South Warren 43-yard line. 57 seconds remaining in the first half. Bowling Green leading 13-6. Cooper in the gun. 3 receivers on the left. Dingle on the inside as the tight end. Scotty Brown by himself on the right. Here's a snap. Hand off to J.V. Button, looking for room on the right tackle.
Great job.
Moves forward right up to the 40, just shy of it to the 41. A gain of 2 on the carry.
Got to use one of those TOs right now. Why wouldn't you? This drives me crazy.
Hildreth on the tackle. 38 seconds and the clock still ticking. 2 receivers on each side. Cooper in the gun, Button to his right in the backfield. Ball set up on the right hash mark as he takes a snap. A handoff to Button. Looking to get the outside on the left. Tied up, tackled in the backfield. That's a big-time tackle there by Jansen Dunn.
Clock's still running. They're going to get nothing out of this.
Yep, that's what's going to happen. Purples are going to just hold on to the lead here.
Oh, I
And it
couldn't
brings up
disagree
4th
more.
down.
That's horrible.
Final second's going to tick down here. And that will be the end of the first half. Bowling Green just decides to run out the clock here in the closing minute of the first half. But they have the lead heading to the locker room, 13-6. We're going to step away for a short break. And when we come back, we will have the halftime report brought to you by Lawton Insurance here on stfanclub.com and the Sporting Times YouTube channel, part of the Sporting Times Broadcast Network.
Honey,
Yeah,
can you go to the store and get some ground beef?
sure.
Hey, that's a lot of bags.
I figured while I was out, I would get groceries for the whole week.
Ground beef included in that?
Did I?
Crossroads IGA has everything you need in one convenient location. Crossroads IGA, a fresh way to shop.
Graves Gilbert Clinic and Western Kentucky Orthopedic and Neurosurgical Associates. 2 organizations coming together as one team to provide the best sports medicine care for South Central Kentucky. Local physicians caring for athletes of all ages. From youth sports to weekend warriors to college and professional athletics, our physicians can get you back in action. When an injury sidelines your favorite athlete, we offer the same expert care that's provided to professional and Division I college athletes. Call today to get you back in action sooner.
bullet. South Oldham, something to keep in mind. Otherwise, locally, Glasgow and Taylor County locked up in a tight one, tied at 7 late in the second quarter when I last checked on that one. Have not seen a score from Russellville at Crittenden County, but Franklin Simpson leading Allen County Scottsville 21-7 in the second quarter. Those are the latest score updates from the local games. We could talk some college and NFL if we have time later on in the broadcast, but we'll bring John Crosby back on as we are in the final minute before we get back to the action here between Bowling Green and South Warren. And, John, just your thoughts on the first half and what the Purples need to do to, well, hold on to this lead and move on to South Oldham next week.
Whatever occurred in the trenches, late that second quarter has changed the entire outlook of this game. The Purples have got to lock down Martin between the tackles. That has now become just a gashing injury for the Purples defense. If they don't, it could end up being a long night if we can't match score for sure. So I think the trenches is going to be the story of this second half.
So there you go. The key of the second half brought to you by the Key Oil Company. As you just heard the buzzer to get this second half underway, South Warren will receive to start this third quarter. I'm Joe Brunk, John Crosby here with you. Tonight's game brought to you by Crossroads IGA and Graves Gilbert Clinic, WKONA Sports Medicine. Another quick update before we get back underway. Our media day for boys basketball, which was scheduled for last Monday, actually got canceled due to weather. So we're going to have it for a year on the hardwood. Warren Central, the defending champions, we'll get to talk to them, as well as Bowling Green, who they face in that championship, and then all the other teams that are going to be vying for that title. I think Warren East is going to have pretty young but pretty deep squad. Greenwood has some great guards this year. Could be a fun year for basketball this season. Dalton Major on to kick it away to get this third quarter started. South Warren will go from right to left here in the third. Here comes the kick. It's a low kick caught at the 10 by Tomi Mustafa. Gets across the 25, met by a defender, keeps pushing across the 30, diving up to the 32-yard line.
Burwash first one in there on the tackle, and that's the kind of kick you don't want. You do not want a low kick because that does not give special teams time to get down there to the runner receiving the ball. So we're lucky that we only came out of there with them starting on the 31. Could have been a lot worse.
Especially with a speedy guy like Tomi Mustafa.
No doubt.
Back. He is a dangerous guy. I believe he is getting a preferred walk-on spot at Western Kentucky.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Kid's worked hard and deserves it.
Two receivers on each side for South Warren. Caden Veldkamp in the gun. Kobe Martin to his right in the backfield. Here's the snap. Hand off to Martin. Had that big drive, and he's looking for a big gash again. Picking up the first down across the 45. Ball pops loose. Oh, but the official calls it dead before the ball came out. It went out of bounds anyway before any Purples could scoop it up. But it's not a fumble. It's instead a big run by Kobe Martin and a first down for South Warren.
That time they had him stopped. He disappeared. He disappeared in that line. He's short, stocky. He's hard to find. And he was able to just roll off of the block there and bust loose.
1st and 10. Ball on the South Warren 47-yard line. Ball set up on the left hash mark. Veldkamp has done step in a few steps on the left side. He's a lone receiver there. 3 receivers to the right. Here's a snap. Fake. Well, nope. They give the handoff to Kobe Martin. Purple's able to meet it initially and limited gain on the carry. Gain of 1 up to the 48.
Kendall Pearson having a great game tonight. Reese Jones back in the game, thank goodness. Whatever was going on with that leg seems to have been not as bad as it once early on appeared.
Brings up 2nd and 9. 2 receivers on the left. Receiver wide out to the right as well. Martin in the backfield as Veldkamp steps in and comes back out. And in the gun, takes a snap. Hand off to Martin again, running to the left, waiting for a hole, but he does not find one. There's 5 Bowling Green Purples able to break through and stop that run.
Yeah, you can tell that the Purples were bound and determined to try to shore that up, keep them behind the sticks there.
Moves the ball to the 46-yard line. Loss of a yard, loss of 2 on that carry. Makes it 3rd and 11. 3 receivers lined up on the right side. 1 to the left in Jansen Dunn. Veldkamp in the gun, takes a snap, looking to his left to Dunn, going to air it out deep. He's open, but it goes through his hands, incomplete. Dunn jumped up for it, had it in his 2 hands, but it goes through, and the Purples look like they forced a punt.
Definitely a difficult target that time, but he timed the jump perfect, had the ball, just went right through his hands. But again, both teams, both quarterbacks having some issues on the intermediate and long pass plays.
Vito Tisdale back to receive. Dervisevich to punt for South Warren. He's an athletic kid too. I wouldn't put it past them trying to punt a fake at some point in this game, and there it is. Dervisevich taking off on the run, and he is getting to the outside, has the first down before he's knocked it about.
But there was a flag down early. Looked like, I don't know why they wouldn't have blown the whistle, but I mean, it was a false start flag. It was early. So it was either an offside or maybe a procedure. Either way, it looked like he stepped out of bounds short of the marker, but there was a flag dropped early.
False start against South Warren. They're going to decline it as he was short of that first down, like you said, John. And so the Purples will take over on downs on their own side of the field, but on the 46-yard line. And what I tell you, I said Dervisevich could go for it. I didn't expect it there because of the yardage that he needed to get. But Dervisevich is an athlete, man.
Yeah, you could tell South Warren really wanted to capitalize on this drive, that first drive. They wanted to get back within. They wanted to tie it up or take the lead there.
1st and 10 for Bowling Green on their own 46-yard line. 2 receivers on each side for Connor Cooper in the gun. J.V. Bunton in the backfield to his right. Here's a snap. Fakes the handoff to Bunton. Now throw up the middle looking for Dingle. Incomplete. Good coverage there by South Warren up the middle. Got to the ball right when Dingle did as well.
Yeah, just tough threading the needle there. If you're going to zing it in like that, you certainly can't throw it at him or behind him. It's got to be just a hair in front of him there. Not able to bring it in. Good coverage by South Warren.
I believe that was Jansen Dunn on the coverage. Makes it 2nd and 10. Ball in the Bowling Green 46. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And Scotty Brown. Here's a snap. Fakes the handoff, looking to the right, and he's sacked in the backfield. Burton on the sack for South Warren.
Boy, that time, even with Bunton in the backfield to help block, 2 Spartans come through, storming through. And they bring down a pretty agile Connor Cooper before he has even a chance to think about getting out of that pocket.
Yeah, he had just made a step back to even try to get in any kind of throwing position. He couldn't even get in any kind of position, and Burton was right there in his grill. Makes it 3rd and long. Bowling Green back on their own 37-yard line. 3rd and 19. 3 receivers to the left. Here's a snap. And again the blitz, but it's a screen play. Caught by Des Wilson. Blockers in front, but he's tackled across the initial line of scrimmage, just shy of the 50 at the Bowling Green 49.
Yeah, you could tell, it's a couple steps into those plays where they're letting the defense flood in that you realize, oh, wait, it's going to be a screen.
Burwash on to punt it away. Here comes the snap, and here comes the kick. Rugby style, end over end, caught by Miller, looking for the return. He fumbled his last one, doesn't fumble this one, but a no return at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, that time Reese Jones almost trying to make that Rainville tackle from the first half. Just barely missed him, but they closed on him pretty fast and didn't get much out of that return.
So both teams have had a possession now, John. South Warren turn it over on downs. Bowling Green, a quick 3 and out.
And we're getting the game we expected to get right now. 13-6 here.
I said in our podcast, the Take 5 podcast, that Bowling Green needed it to be another defensive battle, low-scoring one if they wanted to come out on top. That's what they've been able to get so far. 8:35 left in the 3rd. Bowling Green leading 13-6, but South Warren with the ball on their own 22. 3 receivers on the right, but 1 goes in motion. That's Chidi Afam in motion, and a handoff to Kobe Martin. Met initial run. He'll gain a yard up to the 23.
And again, I keep saying it, and I still believe that Veldkamp has the edge over Connor Cooper only from an experience standpoint, and I have to feel like the longer the Spartans stay in this game, the more of a chance there is for Velkamp to heat up. So the Purples have got to have some more points on the board if they expect to win this game.
And the question becomes, can Bowling Green's defensive line stay strong? We saw them kind of wear down against Trinity at the end of the regular season. Can they stay strong? We saw them give up big holes at the end of the half against Kobe Martin. They can't continue to do that in this game. They've been strong here in the third, but another big gasher here from Kobe Martin. He breaks through and picks up another first down.
Yeah, that time I just specifically kept my eyes on the line, and what's going on? It's just man on man. I mean, they're just manhandling them right now at the line. There's no double teaming. They're not, doing any tricky pulling or anything like that. It's just hat against hat, and right now South Warren's getting all the push.
First down for South Warren. 7:35 remaining in the third quarter. Spartans on their own 35-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. Here's the snap. Velkamp, screen pass. Caught by Hickman. Coming up the right side, and he's tackled after a good gain up the left side. Deglow on the tackle.
Yeah, Deglow doing a good job, an open field tackle, but, I mean, if you're DB, your corners and your safeties are making the tackle, chances are, it's a decent yardage play. We've got to start, getting them here that second level.
Move the ball up to the 43-yard line. 8-yard gain on that play. Makes it 2nd and 2 on the 43. 3 receivers to the right side this time as Velkamp takes a snap. Hand off to Martin up the middle. Met at the 45, which is right there at the first down marker.
Yeah, looks like he picked it up. Official already calling for it.
He's a tough kid, just running it up the middle a good portion. But he's got that capability to break to the outside as well. And that's what we saw with Cameron Harrison last year.
That's right.
Kobe Martin is very much in that same vein, just a kid who can tough it out and then every now and then pop to the outside and break off a huge run. We've yet to see that tonight, but don't be surprised if you catch it here in the next little bit. 6:30 remaining in the third. 1st and 10, ball on the 46. Here's a snap, hand off to Martin up the middle, met at the line. 4 Purples right there in that gap, and they stand them up.
Yeah, that time they shot the gaps at the snap.
Terrion Thompson needing a trainer to come take a look at him at the end of that play, and he was the tip of the spear on that breakthrough. Big play for the defense there, but
looks like he's cramping up.
Seems to be in the extremes that you get these cramps. At the beginning of the year with the heat, you always talk about being hydrated and because of the heat. But then you get to these colder temperatures like it is tonight when you're in the mid-lower 30s, you don't tend to drink as much water because it's cold.
That's right.
And because you're not hydrated, you still get the cramps even though it's not the heat that's the factor, it's the hydration.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And sometimes as well you get in a big rivalry game and you get out of your normal rhythm too. You're so jacked up, you forget to maybe stop by that water machine and pump some water into your system.
Let's take some time to thank a sponsor, Mid-South Lumber and Supply, professional building materials and services. They have everything you'll need for any project and size. Windows, doors, paint and design center, lumber, roofing, shingles, molding and trim insulation, siding and gutters, electrical and plumbing, providing superior service and quality products since 1962. Delivered when and where you need them. Mid-South Lumber and Supply. We're more than wood. Thompson coming off on his own power, limping a little bit on that leg, but
trying to jog it out. You
Yeah.
can tell he wants back in as quickly as possible.
Work out that cramp, and he's a big part of this defense as well. I believe he's got 4 or 5 sacks on the season, leading that category for Bowling Green. 2nd and 10. Jansen Dunn in motion from left to right, but they hand it off to Martin up the middle, and he is off to the races again. Big first down. Purples try for the strip, but they do not get it before Martin hits the ground.
Yeah, the Purples have got to start focusing on the tackle. The second man can strip the ball. The first man's job is to bring him down. I mean, he got an extra 4 yards there because instead of making the tackle, he went for the strip.
And now South Warren on the Bowling Green side of the field at the 33-yard line. Under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Spartans looking to tie this game up. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, but it has been a run attack for South Warren. Jansen Dunn again in motion from left to right. Here's a snap. Hand off to Martin. That's not Martin. That's a new running back, but he breaks through the line. And another big gain for South Warren. That's time it's Leonard Hopkins on the carry.
Well, and what's happening is it's happening in the one hole. When Terrion went out, they had to shift a defensive end to an interior spot, brought in Bridger Knee to play the defensive end, and that's where they're targeting that one hole to the right of the center there, the A gap.
Thompson still on the sideline trying to work out that cramp. 1st and 10, now on the 17-yard line. Spartans in the red zone, 3 receivers to the right. Leonard Hopkins, the running back, to the right side, now a pass. Screen pass caught by Jansen Dunn. Shakes one tackle, gets away from the second, now running to the left side, shakes some more tacklers before diving back and getting maybe a loss of 1 to the 18-yard line.
I was going to say, he worked awful hard to lose a yard right there.
Jansen Dunn, awfully quick player.
Dunn plays both sides of the ball for him, does a good job.
I believe he has an offer from WKU, also has one from University of Louisville.
Yeah, a lot of potential, a lot of upside for that kid, no doubt.
2nd and 11 on the 18-yard line. 3 receivers again on the right side. Hopkins, the running back to the right side of Veldkamp. He takes a snap, hand off to Hopkins, up the middle. Hops over a lineman, but then gets hit by Vito Tisdale and brought down.
And that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to send linebackers up this right side, seal these gaps.
Gain of 2 on the play makes it 3rd and 9 on the 16-yard line.
Again, we're probably just barely in field goal range right now, so might be 2-down territory for them to try to get this first down. We'll have to see.
Kobe Martin back in at running back. He's to the right side of Veldkamp in the gun. Here's the snap. Veldkamp throwing to the right on the screen play. Able to pick it up very close to the ground, but he stopped short of the first down to the 10. That one was close, John.
Well, and not only that, if I'm a defender, Veldkamp was pre-snap was looking over at the right the entire time. You knew the ball was going there.
So a flag comes out. 3:31 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 13-6 your score, but the Spartans driving inside the red zone. Curious to see what it is, because the flag really didn't come out. At least I didn't notice it until after the play.
They've been having issues holding on these screens there, the receivers. He keeps pointing both ways. Can't tell what it is.
It's a penalty against South Warren. So you're going to move them back 5.
So the other thing that can happen often on a screen is the linemen get too far down the field, which looks like it was an eligible receiver.
Yeah, I think that's what they're calling here. So now it remains 3rd down, but it's 3rd and 14.
Which I think is smart to take that, because you know that if it had been 4th and 4, 4th and 5, they were going to go for it.
Well, especially there on the 10, it's a lot easier to kick a field goal if they want to from
Yeah.
that spot too. Now you've got them back on the 21, meaning that turns it into like a 38-yard. That's, in this cold, could be a little more difficult. Veldkamp the gun, takes a snap, throwing the screenplay again to Mustafa this time up the right side. He's brought down at the 15.
Good job there, because Mustafa's the kind of kid, he gets out there on the edge with a little space, and he could take that all the way to the house.
I think the offense is staying out here, John. It'd be a 32-yard field goal attempt, but it doesn't look like they're even thinking about that right now. The Spartans going for it on 4th and 8.
If I'm the Spartans, I'm trying to get somebody to jump, and if they don't jump, I'm kicking a field goal.
Veldkamp with Martin in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And here's the snap.
Well,
Fakes the
going for it.
handoff. Looking for the throw. Blocked down.
Batted down. There we go.
Jordan Dingle knocking it down. The big man comes over on defense and swats it away, and the Purples force the turnover on down.
How about Jordan Dingle getting more and more defensive reps the deeper we go into the season now? I mean, how can you keep a kid that talented off the field? You got to have him in the game.
And that is a huge stop for Bowling Green as South Warren again was driving down the field, quite efficiently, whether it was Hopkins or if it was Martin, they were able to just march it down the throat of Bowling Green for a good portion of this field. And then, well, it gets inside the red zone. The Purples bow out. They get a help with a penalty on an ineligible receiver. But a big stop on 4th and 8 and a big block by Jordan Dingle, and the Purples take over. Ball on the 15. Here's the snap. Cooper passed to the sideline, and it is almost intercepted. Almost taken away immediately. He was looking for Dingle on the out route, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, that was clearly one of those quarterback tunnel visions right there. There was no way you could have missed that defender except for the fact that he was so locked in on Dingle.
It was either Afam or Mustafa. I didn't quite catch the number who had the beat on that. I think it was Afam. Here's the snap and a handoff. Bunton looking for room on the outside of the right. Bowls over a defender, stays on his feet across the 20 up to the 21. A 6-yard carry, and that's what you need on a 2nd and 10.
Some hard work right there, and of course South Warren trying to claim that they got the ball and a fumble there, but a little bit of a scrum after the whistle.
Clock keeps ticking.
Bowling Green with a big 3rd down here.
3rd and 4. Ball on the 21-yard line. Cooper with a running back on each side in the backfield. Two receivers to the left.
I'd like to see a delay draw here. They use that delay draw pretty effectively to either one of these backs or maybe a keeper by the quarterback. They got him to jump.
There was movement. Both sides are saying that they jumped.
Well,
what they call it.
Yeah, what happened was they had him. They had him, and then an offensive lineman jumped. The defender was able to get back before they snapped the ball. The linemen are told, to be a rock through all of that, and ended up getting the lineman to jump.
And that penalty almost completely negates Button's last run, and now makes it 3rd and 9. On the Bowling Green 16, 2 receivers on each side. Tisdale going in motion. They hand off to him on a sweep run. Now cuts up on the tackle up to the 20. Still on his feet to the 25. Still pushing forward. And
Holy
he gets across
mackerel.
the 25 for the first down.
Vito
Tisdale. And then he's up getting the crowd on their feet.
Says, gimme the rock. How about that?
Vito on the sweep, saw he didn't have the outside route, cuts to the tackle.
A little hard to bring down.
Scrum across the 20. Carried that thing 5 yards with a host of Spartans on top of him. And a first down brought to you by McDonald's.
I mean, that's the play of the game so far.
Here's a snap and a handoff. This time it's Bunton on the carry. Shakes one tackle, but not the second. Brought down to the 25.
Boy, let me tell you what, these Spartans, they can put a hat on you, son. Physical defense the Spartans have got out here tonight.
Loss of 2 on the play makes it 2nd and 12. Ball on the 25-yard line. 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter. 13-6 still your score. No points so far here in the 3rd quarter. Under a minute. Cooper taking his time. 12 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right, and Scotty Brown. Same formation as the last play. Here's the snap. Handoff to Bunton. Looking to run to the left. Shakes one tackle. Shakes a second. Trying to push forward before he's knocked out of bounds. May have gained a couple yards there. He got across the 25 up to about 27-28.
Running toward the boundary that time. Just not much over there. You can obviously tell they're a little hesitant to put Connor in a throw-in situation, but now
you're in one.
You're in it.
It's a 20,
unless you're going to give it to Vito again.
You're on the 27-yard
line. Which he is in there.
You've got to get up to the 37.
They're going to set him up in the slot, might put him in motion with the jet sweep again.
3rd and 10. That was the play before, and here comes Vito again on the sweep. Here it comes, but Cooper holds on to it. Has it up the middle, caught by Dingle. He'll fight forward and dive towards the marker. This one's close. We'll see where the official marks it.
Yeah, I think he's going to be short.
Well, the official's signaling that you move the chains. There it is.
Oh,
first
wow.
Down.
Wow.
Brought to you by McDonald's. Dingle mans up and gets the first down for Bowling Green.
Wow. What a second effort there by Dingle.
And he has had a big second half of the season and on the year. 414 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns for Jordan Dingle. And the Purple's going to let this one run out. They're going to take the time off the clock, take this one into the fourth quarter. And as they do, they lead South Warren 13-6. We got one more quarter to go, John.
Throw the fours up.
Winner moves on to South Odom. Loser goes home. Bowling Green, South Warren, come on back for the fourth after this on stfanclub.com, part of the Sporting Times Broadcast Network.
Honey,
Yeah?
can you go to the store and get some ground beef?
Sure.
Hey, that's a lot of bags.
I figured while I was out, I would get groceries for the whole week.
Ground beef included in that?
Did I?
Oh,
Crossroads IGA has everything you need in one convenient location. Crossroads IGA, a fresh way to shop.
Graves Gilbert Clinic and Western Kentucky Orthopedic and Neurosurgical Associates. Two organizations coming together as one team to provide the best sports medicine care for South Central Kentucky. Local physicians caring for athletes of all ages. From youth sports to weekend warriors to college and professional athletics, our physicians can get you back in action. When an injury sidelines your favorite athlete, we offer the same expert care that's provided to professional and Division I college athletes. Call today to get you back in action.
And welcome back here to Bowling Green High School. Start of the fourth quarter. Bowling Green 13, South Warren 6. Joe Brown, John Crosby here with you. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Crossroads IGA and Graves Gilbert Clinic, WKONA Sports Medicine. No points scored in that third quarter. A lot of real estate moving back and forth between these two teams.
No doubt, and physical defense is on for both teams here tonight.
Bowling Green getting a big first down from Jordan Dingle on that last play of the third quarter. So Bowling Green going with a 1st and 10 on their own 38-yard line. Here's the snap. It goes off the hands of Cooper, but Collins able to scoop it up, gets across the 40 and keeps on moving to the 44. The bowling ball moves forward and gets up some yards for Bowling Green.
Oh, and what a shame that snap that they bobbled at, because they pulled the guard over and created just a huge hole that if Collins could have hit it when he was supposed to, oh, man, he may have been sitting in the end zone right about now.
That one basically bounced off the hands of Cooper into the hands of Collins as he was trying to sweep through. Moves it up to the 44, just shy of the 45. 2nd and 3. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Two running backs in the backfield. Collins, the deep back. Here's the snap. Pitch back to Collins. Running, gets through the hole, shakes a tackle, jumps out of the rim of another one. Just jumps out of the tackling arms of Jansen Dunn and picks up a first down for Bowling Green, brought to you by McDonald's.
Good job, Collins. Just so hard to bring down.
Collins going to step out for a breather.
Tisdale back in the backfield now.
You've got Dingle set up as a blocker inside over on that right side. You've got two receivers on the right. Fofana by himself on the left. Here's the snap. Hand off to Tisdale between the tackles. Big gap. Jukes to the inside. Still on his feet at the 20 before he's brought down. Vito Tisdale into Spartan territory to the 20-yard line.
Boy, it's good to see him fired up. Good to see him running hard. Now we got to just keep his emotions in check.
Yeah, it's like good to see him fired up and going to the crowd,
Yeah.
not going to the opposition.
Yeah.
So the Purples now, officially in the red zone. They're on the 20. 1st and 10. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Dingle set up on the left side as well in the backfield. Tisdale still the running back. Here's the snap. Hand off to Tisdale. Run to the right side. He's bottled up in the backfield. Met at the 20. No gain on the play. Breaking through on that one was Ethan Hildreth.
Tisdale fist bumping Collins as Collins is back in now. Going to give Vito a break. Tell you what, why not just keep pounding it? Grind it.
10-13 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Bowling Green trying to stretch this back out to a 2-score lead. They've got Collins as the deep back, two receivers to the right. Here's the snap. Fake the handoff. Cooper rolling to his left. Throws up the middle.
Oh,
too
my
high
goodness.
for Brassel. Incomplete.
Oh.
Had Brassel in the flat. Could not hit the target. And it goes incomplete.
Well, not only did he throw it high, but he threw it 2 steps too late. He shouldn't have hitched. He should have gotten that ball out of his hands. He allowed the defenders to close on him, and then he had to throw it high. Oh, so close.
That makes it 3rd and 10.
Both quarterbacks are just throwing it just a half second to a second too late.
How much does the cold weather, again, we're playing mid to low 30s right now.
Yeah.
How much of a factor does that play on the quarterbacks here? Cooper's
Usually you
going.
would think, oh, that time threw it just a hair behind him. Usually that's going to affect your accuracy, but not the timing, your release of the ball.
Sometimes it might even affect the hands as well. That one going through the hands of Brassel, again the intended target. Brings up 4th and 10 on the 20. It would be a 37-yard field goal attempt if the Purples were to go for it. It would turn it into a 10-point game. But the offense is staying out there for Bowling Green. 13 seconds on the play clock. Cooper needing to get this set up. Tisdale out there as a receiver on the right-hand side. Collins, the running back, to the left side of Cooper in the backfield. Tisdale in motion. Cooper fakes the handoff, now taking his time. Has to go on the run. Gets away from one defender. Now has to run away from another one. Just trying to buy time, and fans are just pleading for him to throw it away, but he's got room to run. Cuts back to the inside, still on his feet to the 20. He does not get the first down, but he gets to the 16. And the Spartans will take over on downs. Cooper runs a mile to gain 4 yards, but it's not enough.
Well, if they had protected him at all, he had a post wide open, Scotty Brown. But, man, just too much going on.
I'm tired just watching that play.
Yeah.
There were so many fans up here. People in the box even were saying, throw it away.
Yeah, definitely didn't want to take a sack there. He's lucky he got out of that.
9:33 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Got some heated up parents out here tonight.
We got a fan yelling for somebody to wake up. I don't know if he's pointing at me. I'm wide awake, John.
Yeah, I'm awake.
Hey, they want 9:50 on the clock.
Officials want 9:50 on the clock. So we'll add some time back on here. It did run down to 9:33. I thought we got Noah, our reporter up here for Sporting Times. Thought he was getting threatened there from that parent. Spartans going to run up the middle. Maybe gain a yard or two on the carry. Purple's able to contain that one early. And that's, you hope that Bowling Green's going to be able to do that on the runs up the middle.
Yeah.
Contain it, because when South Warren's been effective, it's not been runs to the outside. It's been runs directly up the middle.
Yeah, when we've had Dylan Eccles and Vito there on the outside sealing the edge.
Ball on the South Warren 19-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play makes it 2nd and 8. Jansen Dunn going in motion to be a receiver on the left side. Here's the snap. Velkamp looking left. Catch goes through the hands of Chidi Afam, incomplete. He's looking for the tight end on the out route, and it goes through the hands of Afam, out of the reach of Dylan Eccles, and it falls incomplete.
Well, in that time they did a good job of disguising. They had Deglow lined up at corner, and just before the snap, he drops back into a safety position, and Dylan runs up for the coverage. So you can tell they're doing some switcheroo there, trying to bait him with Deglow.
Well, I think that South Warren was trying to bait and switch too, and they had Jansen Dunn move out as a receiver. Yeah. Afam was tucked in on the inside. No one was really looking that way when the play started. It's 3rd and 8 now on the 19. Purple showing blitz here. Velkamp trying to point it out, and here comes the snap. Velkamp was yelling to try to adjust the offense, and the ball gets snapped right into him, and the Purples tackle.
Wow.
Velkamp able to fall back on top of it, but it brings up 4th down. The Spartans forced to punt.
Yeah, they felt that heat from Dingle coming off the edge, unblocked.
Velkamp is trying to move the line around. And
Purples have blocked punts in some big games. They blocked Trinity.
Here's the snap. This one into the dirt, and it gets away. Dervisevich, a nice punt. Tisdale goes off of him, and South Warren gets it back. Oh, no, it's still loose, but the Spartans get it on the 40.
Let's see if they held up once they got the pile there, and it looks like Spartan has it.
Yep, Spartans were able to fall on top of that one. Tisdale tried for the return, but he was met immediately before
Well,
he could
Dingle
even
comes
corral
out with it, but
and Dingle's trying to show the official, look, I'm the one with it.
Yeah.
How can you give it to South when I'm the one that comes out with it?
and of course, this is something that Vito's prone to do. He's prone to take a risk, and that's that's a risk you don't want to take. No reason to field that ball.
8:21 remaining. You feel that Bowling Green's able to field that one and take some time off the clock on that next drive. It turns this game around a little bit, but Bowling Green getting to the 20, not able to score. South Warren now able to pick up a punt and now able to take another stab at it here, running it with Martin. Up the middle, gains a few yards up to the 44.
Yeah, the Purples, seems like the biggest adjustment they've made is they're sending their linebackers and forcing Velkamp to try to maybe throw something across the middle. That's where the open man is once they've left the middle open with these linebackers shooting the gaps.
There has not been a ton of completions for either squad in tonight's game. 2nd and 6, ball on the 44. Here's the snap. Velkamp, handoff to Martin, looking to run on the outside, tackle to the right. Brought down at the 49. Gain of 5 on the carry, brings up 3rd down. Martin has been so good in this game.
Boy, he really has.
I'd say over 100 yards on the night, close to it.
Runs really hard, too.
162.
I mean, 3rd and short, it's awful difficult to think they can't pick it up here the way he's been running tonight.
Well, over 200 yards on the night. How about that? He's been
Wow, what?
That's what I'm getting. We'll confirm that before we go any further, but he has had a big night.
Somebody drinking some Martin Kool-Aid over here.
Here comes the snap, and we got a whistle before we get it going. False start.
126.
126. I flipped numbers.
Oh.
126. That's still a good night. I was like, I don't think they've had that much offense.
Yeah.
But a penalty here moves the Spartans back to the 44-yard line. That is a big penalty here because it's 3rd and 6 instead of 3rd and 1.
Absolutely.
Still on the Spartan side of the field at the 44-yard line. 7:08 on the clock in the 4th quarter.
Look for a screen to this left side here.
Here's the snap. Hand off to Martin up the middle. Purple
Whoa!
sniff it out. Get it immediately.
Woo! Wow. Kendall Pearson's been on fire tonight.
Kendall Pearson has been huge, and he is again on that tackle. No gain on the play. Makes it 4th down, and here comes the punt squad for South Warren.
You got to think. Can't imagine them running another fake, but this is within reach for this kid as fast as he is.
And you wonder if you just tell Vito, hey, maybe just catch it,
Yeah.
Here's the snap. Another low snap. Punt gets away clean, and Vito just lets it sail overhead. No chance, but it takes a
heck of a bounce.
South Warren bounce going all the way down to the 6-yard line. That is a
goodness.
huge punt for Eldar Dervisevich, and the Purples are tucked deep in their own territory with 6:16 remaining. John, we've not really seen the Purples drive down the field for a long, sustained drive, except for maybe the first drive of the game.
Yeah.
Which that wasn't even a long, sustained one. It was a 47-yard run.
That's
was
right.
A touchdown.
That included a fake
That
punt.
included a fake punt.
To keep it alive, even.
So you wonder, what Bowling Green's going to be able to do. Maybe the last drive that they got it down to the 20, weren't able to get points, but they did take a lot of time off the clock with that drive. Be interested to see what they pull out here. Of course, in this situation, you tend to see them stay on the ground, and you've got Collins out there.
Absolutely. You got to be conservative.
Collins
Spartans
and
have flipped the
Tisdale.
field now.
It's Cooper in the gun, fakes the handoff, and now throws screen to Des Wilson, and he is brought into the end zone, and he's going to be brought down for a safety.
Unless
the official said
forward
stop
motion.
It. Forward motion. They stop him
at the 1.
They stop him at the 1. Purples get lucky. I don't know what happened. That because I didn't hear the whistle blow.
I tell you, I'm not a. I don't call plays, never, except for Pee Wee football. But I can't imagine calling that play that deep without first getting some space maybe with Collins or even Vito carrying the ball.
Collins comes out. Vito Tisdale in at running back. Here's a snap. And they're going to run it with Vito. Get into the outside, across the 5, across the 10. Flag on the play as he's knocked out of bounds. Flag comes out at the 5. So we're probably going to get a hold on this one. And so what would have been a great breakout to get some breathing room here, instead it's going to come back and you're going to have the ball about the 2.5. So you gain about 1.5 yards on the play.
At this point, you're just hoping to have room to punt the ball.
They're not taking much time off the clock here. 5:27 remaining. And Vito is down on the sideline as well because he was hit into the Purple's bench. So you've got trainers taking a look at him as they set this ball on about the 3-yard line.
Nothing that a stationary bike can't fix, though.
I mean, the bike is out.
The bike's out.
We talked about that before we hopped on the air.
They're working on the cramps. All he's got to do is get on that bike, give us about 1/2 mile, and he's good.
But because it was a holding penalty, it remains 2nd down.
Seriously, right now, all I'm hoping to do is just get a few more yards to give us some more space to punt.
Let's take this time to thank a sponsor, shall we? State Farm Insurance, dependable and knowledgeable agency. Customers looking for real protection and long-term relationships. Having one special person for your car, home, and life insurance lets you get down to business with the rest of your life. We're State Farm. It's what we do. 24/7, 365. Go to a better state. Contact an agent today. Call Jonathan McDaniel at 270-842-5556 or Ginger Cleary at 270-782-7276.
You know, the good thing about Burwash being able to do that rugby-style kick is he creates room just by running, you know, taking an angle to the right or to the left.
Tisdale still being looked at on the ground. Again, he was knocked on the ground over on the Purple's bench. So he's not on the field of play at this time, but the officials over there taking a look at him.
Looked like they were doing just a simple, you know, stretching out a cramp, but still down now.
And so I think it looks like we may actually be taking an official timeout here, which is, again, an interesting kind of way that's because he's not on the field.
No, he's out of the field of play.
So let's go ahead and thank another sponsor, shall we, while we're here. Big thanks to McDonald's. The Burrow journey to McDonald's began in 1974 with the opening of their first restaurant in Franklin, Kentucky. Paul Burrow, a second-generation owner-operator, began the family business with his father, Jim Burrow. And from that one store, other siblings joined the business and have branched off into their own areas throughout Kentucky and Tennessee. The Burrows have always looked at their business as a people business first and a hamburger business second. Burrows are also heavily involved in the communities where they work and live. They are proud supporters of many charities, athletic, and academic programs. And additionally, they are passionate about helping out the Nashville Ronald McDonald House, which serves as a home away from home for many families from southern Kentucky each year. Visit one of the many area McDonald's locations today. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Purples fans not loving the attention on the sideline at the moment. They really hope that Vito Tisdale is able to go once this game gets back underway. He was in at running back, had broken out a big run to get some breathing room out of the end zone, but it was called back due to a holding penalty at the 5. So now Bowling Green, instead of being out near the 20, tucked in at the 3 on a 2nd and long. 13-6 your score with 5:27 remaining. See if we can get some other score updates here, John. Taylor County up on Glasgow 20-7 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Franklin Simpson 41, Allen County Scottsville 20. Start of the 4th quarter. Vito's back up, but he is being helped over to the trainer's table with a man under each arm.
Yeah, he's not putting pressure down. Well, now hard to tell what's going on. Looks like maybe something in his foot they're looking at.
Here's the snap. Cooper dropping back to throw. He's going to go deep looking for Fofana, and it goes off his chest and incomplete. Coverage on that one by Mustafa, and I think at that point you're kind of just heaving it up and hoping for something big, and Even the worst case scenario, if it's an interception, you at least get it 40 yards down the field.
Yeah, it was definitely a 50-50 ball, and both going for the ball. Either man could have come down with it.
It brings up third down. I wonder maybe if you look at that type of play here in a third down situation. Here you go, 3rd and 13, ball on the 3. Stops the clock with 5:21 remaining. Cooper in the gun. Here's the snap, and Cooper again dropping back, looking to throw. Now steps up and has to take off. He won't be in the end zone, so no safety, and he buys some room for the punt squad.
Yeah, I like that play. The defenders were playing with so much cushion, they just weren't going to allow the receivers to get over top of them. And Connor had to tuck the ball and run.
That's a heads-up play by the quarterback there. Connor Cooper, he almost got the first down. He wasn't too far away. He was a few yards away, but more importantly, whoa, and Burwash isn't looking. He was talking to the official. And now he's going to try to run it out, and he'll throw it, and it's incomplete. And honestly, that's a heads-up play by Burwash because the incomplete pass moves it out to where the play started instead of back in the end zone. It's still going to be great field position for South Warren.
Unbelievable.
It's not a safety.
I've never seen anything like it.
Burwash wasn't even in position, and he was staring and looking at the official trying to talk something out. The snap comes through, and now a timeout taken.
I don't know.
So now the clock going to have to get reset here. So we'll have to reset the clock here. But it is a turnover on downs for Bowling Green. And South Warren with fantastic field position late in the fourth quarter to try to tie this game up. 13-6. 4:40 on the clock. South Warren will take over 1st and 10 on the Bowling Green 13-yard line.
Wow, you talk about a momentum shift. Yeah, Burwash just was sitting there talking to the official.
Here comes the snap. Velkamp, handoff to Martin. Just runs up the middle. Gets tripped up by Eli Burwash. And it's a first down for South Warren, and it's 1st and goal.
Wow.
Well, they set it down at the 3. They're going to say 2nd down. Didn't move the chain. 2nd down. 2nd and 1. Velkamp in the gun. Dunn goes in motion, running to the outside, right to left. Hand off to Martin, up the middle. He gets stuffed. Probably going to have that first down, though.
Defense is going to have to be real cautious here. They're going to have to watch that ball because, boy, you hate unforced errors. You hate for a game to shift on an unforced error like that.
You know, Bowling Green was a benefactor of an unforced error as well with a snap into Velkamp when he wasn't
That's
looking.
right.
But South Warren was able to bounce back from it, got a fantastic punt from Dervisevich. Purples didn't have the chance to recover. Now the defense has to be the one to do it. 1st and goal. Ball on the 2. Velkamp in the gun. Martin the back. Hand off to Martin again. Looking up the middle. Stuffed by the Bowling Green defense. Nothing doing there. Host of Purples breaking through the line. Kendall Pearson breaking through first.
Well, you know Velkamp's probably not running this in.
He runs all the way to the sideline to get the play call from Coach Brandon Smith. 13-6 your score. Tie. It's a 13-6 game.
I would
3 minutes to go.
I would at least give this play one more shot, and then you look at maybe a play action.
Here's the snap. Hand off to Martin again. Looking up the middle. Purple sniff it out. Find Martin in the backfield. Purple's defense trying to get their crowd on the feet. Under 3 minutes to go.
This will be a huge stop here for the Purples.
You imagine South Warren is in 2-down territory. You don't imagine them. They didn't go for a field goal earlier. They're not going to go for it now.
No, not now. Not with the time we've got left here.
2:39 and the clock still ticking here in the fourth quarter. Jordan Dingle checks back into the game for Bowling Green.
Watch for, they may be calling a timeout here. No, they're not. They're going to try to set up a play. There's only 5 seconds on the clock. Look for a play action here.
Veldkamp takes a snap. No play action, just looking for the throw, and it is caught. Touchdown, South Warren. Big catch by Jansen Dunn for the score. 4-yard pass from Veldkamp to Dunn.
Great play call, great play execution. I mean, time had just about expired on the play clock. He got that ball. I didn't even put his hands. He didn't get that on the seams. He got that ball out of his hands quick.
Extra point for the tie. It's up. Kick is smooth, and it's good. And that makes the score Bowling Green 13, South Warren 13. We are tied with 2:14 remaining here in the fourth quarter of this district championship game. Let's thank another sponsor here in Lawton Insurance. Today, Lawton Insurance has provided thousands of Kentuckians with affordable insurance coverage and unparalleled customer service. Whether your needs are simple or complex, individual or commercial, Lawton Insurance is dedicated to providing you with the appropriate insurance solution at an affordable price while forming with you a relationship built on trust and confidence that is sure to stand the test of time. Contact them today to find out how they can serve your insurance needs. Lawton Insurance, 270-282-2411. 4-yard pass from Veldkamp to Dunn. And the extra point good from Dervisevich. And we are tied at 13. Winter moving on to take on South Odom. They were up big over North Bullitt when we last checked. And it's a squib kick picked up by Vito Tisdale. He'll look to return. Has some blockers in front. Gets to the outside of the 35, to the 40, 45, 50, up to the 45 with South Warren. Big return by Bowling Green, and the Purples on the Spartan side of the field.
Only Vito Tisdale can spend 6 minutes on the sidelines injured and then come in and return a kick. Tell you what.
Simpson 40, and then comes off limping at the end of the play.
Then comes off limping.
Franklin Simpson 48, Allen County Scottsville 20, 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Glasgow has scored to make it a one-score game at the beginning of the fourth quarter there, 20-14. Taylor County with the lead over Glasgow. So another tight game going on here.
Well, let me tell you, the Purple's going to have to earn it right here because this Spartans defense has been relentless.
Cooper in the gun. There's some motion. And we got a flag.
Officials calling for offsides.
Yep. So that moves the ball up 5 for Bowling Green, up to the 40. I think you've seen where Dalton Major's been able to make a 40-yarder. I don't know if he's able to in this cold.
Cold and the field conditions right here in the middle of the field. Between the hashes is
rough. The extra points tonight. Here's a heave by Connor Cooper into the Bowling Green bench. Incomplete.
Connor he's not confident in his ability right now to throw the ball. He's just not. I mean, he clearly was not willing to throw it inbounds right there, to trust his abilities. He's got to get confident throwing that ball because I feel like we're going to have a couple of those to win this game tonight.
2nd and 5. Ball on the 40. 2 minutes on the clock. 2 receivers to the right. 1 to the left in Fofana. Here's a snap. Handoff to J.V. Button. Running between the tackles. Moving forward a few yards up to the 36. Gain of about 4 on that one. Going to make it a 3rd and 1.
Tell you what, you're a lot more confident and comfortable relying on a field goal to win it in college in the pros than you are high school. So I really feel like it's got to be inside the red zone for them to feel comfortable.
They need to get it inside the red zone. 5 wide for Bowling Green on this 3rd and 1. Cooper, the carry, has the first down at the 30, cuts it in for a couple more, up to the 27.
Huge hole, and Connor saw it on a delay quarterback keeper there.
And that is a big play for Bowling Green because that gets the first down, 1:22 remaining. Purples keep the possession.
I don't know if that was a design QB draw or if he just saw it and went for it.
Collins, the running back, to the left side of Cooper. 1st and 10 on the 27. Here's a snap. Cooper, screen pass, deflected, and almost intercepted. Chidi Apham had the read, but could not hold on to it.
Wow.
How many times have we said that tonight? There have been at least 4 interceptions that have been dropped in tonight's game.
Have we seen a ball game tonight or what? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he was to the house. I don't know if anyone's catching Chidi.
Oh, no.
Stops the clock with 1:10 remaining. 2nd and 10. Ball on the South Warren 27-yard line.
Vito back in the backfield again. You got to wonder.
Right now it would be a 44-yard field goal if they're forced to kick it from here. Here's the snap, handoff to Vito, up the middle. Stuffed at the 25. He gained 2 yards. And it brings up 3rd down.
A couple yards on forward momentum.
And a timeout taken. 1:02 left.
Maybe if they'd have called a timeout with 1:02 left in the second quarter, they'd be up by now by at least a field goal. I'm kind of miffed about the way they handled the clock at the end of the first half there. Way too much time left on the board. 3 timeouts, they just let them go.
Purples use the first one here. Take this time to remind you a couple of opportunities to catch up with the Sporting Times throughout the week on Saturdays. It's the Sporting Times Show with Doug Thompson, 6 to 6:30 on WNKY 40, and then our Take 5 podcast, which is on the Apple Podcast app. Usually comes out on Monday or Tuesday. This week we had Brian Davis from Franklin, the Franklin favorite, and he was a loose cannon. It is a must listen because no punches were pulled in that podcast. 3rd and 7. Ball on the 24-yard line. It would be a 41-yard attempt if the Purples don't gain any yards here. J.V. Bunton, the running back. Cooper going to take it himself. Gets across the 20. Still on his feet to the 10. Falling forward to the 5. 1st down, Connor Cooper. He broke through and then tripped on the yard line and then fell forward 15 yards.
Oh, my goodness. He just smacked his helmet like, can you believe that?
And that's
he tripped over a ghost
and
almost still.
That's where you want to be.
Somebody said it looked like John Crosby running for the buffet. I agree.
50 seconds on the clock. A hand up the middle. Breaking through tackles, forcing his way through. It's right there on the line.
Go!
Touchdown, Bowling Green. 3-yard run by the Purples. Vi Collins on the carry. Packing the Spartans over the line. Comes with 44 seconds remaining. 2 big quarterback keepers for Connor Cooper. And Vi Collins able to punch it in to put the Purples back on top. Touchdown brought to you by Toyota Bowling Green. The extra point is up, and it is good. And so that makes the score Bowling Green 20, South Warren 13. What a drive there by Bowling Green. They take about 1:30 off the clock there and get the touchdown, and now the defense has to stand for 44 seconds.
Yeah, and they used everything on that drive. Had a hard count to give him 5 yards from offsides. Had Vito running the ball. Had Connor Cooper on, it looked like a delayed draw keeper there. Great job of just improvising and making it happen. The passing game not being strong. Found a way to get it done. But look, you've got a strong arm by number 3 here for the Spartans. And you got some insanely talented receivers. So don't for a second count the Spartans out. 44 seconds and 3 timeouts. That's enough time for them to get down here and tie this up.
You know, the man taking a shot at you about the buffet line was, our good friend Alan Martin. Probably in his last game as the PA announcer for Bowling Green. He's looking to hang it up
That's
after
right.
this season. He's been phenomenal. One of my favorite parts of being here at the L has been listening to Alan Martin.
That's for sure.
Just want to get that out there before this game comes to an end. Dalton Major kicks this one inside the 5.
Wow.
Mustafa bobbles it, but now looks He is blasted. What a shot by Eli Burwash.
Eli Burwash
decapitated a man.
Absolutely decleating Mustafa.
Good night, Mustafa. Eli Burwash.
I think he was trying to make up for missing the snap.
What a hit.
My goodness.
Might find that one on World Star later tonight.
Wow.
That was brutal.
Now.
37 seconds remaining. Velkamp in the gun. Oh, I got to concentrate now. We got to get back to this. 3 receivers on the left-hand side. Spartans get a receiver in late on the play. Vito coming in late as well. Here's the snap. Velkamp looking to his right. Caught by Mustafa. Gets up to the 20, and the Purples keep him in bounds. That's a big play because it forces a timeout to be used by South Warren.
I think if Velkamp would have seen pre-snap what was happening over there on his left side, he'd have been
look at the other.
But he was so you could tell he was going to Mustafa the whole way. But there was definitely some confusion on the coverage there. We were outmanned on the left side for sure.
So that's the first timeout taken by South Warren. Take a look at some other scores going on.
Did I mention this is Alan Martin's last night calling?
Edmonson County up on Clinton County at the end of the third, 17-7. Glasgow getting the ball, still trailing 20-14 against Taylor County in the fourth quarter. And haven't seen a score update from South Oldham or from Owensboro, but those two teams were up big. So you imagine those two teams moving on. They'll be the host teams on this side of the bracket here in 5A, which means the winner of this game will move on to South Oldham next week.
Lovely place to play.
Here comes the snap. Velkamp dropping back 5 wide for the Spartans. Now goes on the run to the right, and he throws it away. But there was a receiver that tried to get to it. It was close, but it's incomplete.
Great job there by Velkamp. Almost had a reception there and a first down.
Avron Bell was the intended target there, but it stops the clock with 21 seconds remaining. 20-13 your score. Bowling Green leading South Warren with the ball. Season on the line. South Warren, your defending 5A champions, taking on the only team that's beaten them here in the past 2 seasons. Velkamp takes the snap. 3 receivers to his left, but he goes to the right and launches it into the Purple's bench, incomplete, but a flag on the play.
Priesthorn almost there to get the grab the ball a little high and out of bounds.
Just heard that South Oldham
limping now.
South Oldham has beaten North Bullitt 50-21. Last we saw, Owensboro was up 43-0 on Graves County, so you can put it in the books. Those two are moving on to next week.
No doubt.
So you'll be probably having the winner of the Fairdale District will be traveling to Owensboro next week. And Bowling Green or South Warren, whoever holds on for this one, because there's a penalty here that's moving the ball for South Warren. 16 seconds remaining.
Boy, and that's my favorite place to play on the road. Do you play at the Rash?
The Rash is man, that crowd's so on top of it.
They are.
It's a fantastic atmosphere for football. 16 seconds remaining. Velkamp. Spartans with the ball on their own 35. 1st and 10. Here's the snap. Velkamp throws it to the right side, caught by Avron Bell. He'll look to get out of bounds, does so at the 42. Stops the clock with 11 seconds remaining.
As we said, this game is not over. These Spartans have talent all over the field. How about this effort from Velkamp? First time back all season. It's against your crosstown rival,
who has a pretty good defense.
Has a very good defense.
Only allowed 12 points per game this season. Both these defenses only allowed 12 points per game this season. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, 5 wide for South Warren. Quick pass to the outside. Bell again the reception. Gets across the 50 before he's pushed out of bounds. 5.5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I don't know that you've got more than one play here. Maybe. It's got to be.
I mean, that one took like 6.
Yeah. It's got to be quick, and you got to have your hands standing right by the official with the timeout symbol.
You've got Burwash. You've got Eccles deep.
Now you're going to look for some maybe hook and lateral something here.
3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 5 wide for South Warren, 1st and 10 from the 50. Here's a snap and a whistle before we got going. False start on South Warren.
Oh, one thing you can't have right now. Now they rolled the clock. Do we take the clock back to 5-5?
You've got to put it back on 5-5 because the play did not get underway. And the officials will talk this over and we'll put it back up. Clock man looking to get it back up there before we get it underway. Trying to beat the officials to the punch.
Yeah, 5.5.
And, well, not 55. I'm sure South Warren fans would love to have 55 seconds on the clock. Bowling Green fans, not so much. Fans in an uproar, but it's, hey, we'll get it fixed. They're not going to let a snap go away without the clock being right.
Can you please announce that we are fully aware that they didn't want 55 seconds on the clock? We're fully aware. Let me just say while we're waiting on the clock here that, you know, growing up, my day, Bowling Green Central was the big rivalry, but I don't think Bowling Green or Central played this many consecutive times both teams being ranked as high as South Warren and Bowling Green are. That's what makes this rivalry, to me, this rivalry is even bigger than the Central Bowling Green of the olden days, because both of these teams are state champion contenders every time they play.
Well, 1st and 15. They got 5 seconds on the clock. And the officials they're holding off, and I think they're going to hold it off to try to get that 5.5. Again, it's a clock malfunction. It's not the clock man. It is the clock itself that is having the issue as we're trying to get this going. And it's back to 55. Again, that's where this gets tense. So you just... And so now we've got Coach Franklin in here. He's trying to explain how.
Always run a hook and lateral, some kind of play midway down the field to extend the play. And I thought maybe that's what South Warren would do, but they went for it all on one shot.
John, I've got to reset here. I believe we lost connection for a part of that end of that game. I don't know how far back we lost it, but I can tell you Vi Collins ran in for a touchdown in the final minute. South Warren was moving down the field with short passing plays. They brought in Willingham on the final play to do a Hail Mary, but it's knocked down, incomplete, and the Purples hold on for the win, 20-13. They move on to the 3rd round. They will be on the road to take on South Oldham next week. And that means we're going to be calling the football game from the stands, John.
That's right.
So let's go ahead and take ourselves a quick break. We'll come back with the post-game report coming up here on stfanclub.com, part of the Sporting Times Broadcast Network.
Honey?
Yeah?
Can you go to the store and get some ground beef?
Sure.
Hey, that's a lot of bags.
I figured while I was out, I would get groceries for the whole week.
Ground beef included in that?
Did I?
Crossroads IGA has everything you need in one convenient location. Crossroads IGA, a fresh way to shop.
Graves Gilbert Clinic and Western Kentucky Orthopedic and Neurosurgical Associates. 2 organizations coming together as one team to provide the best sports medicine care for South Central Kentucky. Local physicians caring for athletes of all ages. From youth sports to weekend warriors to college and professional athletics, our physicians can get you back in action. When an injury sidelines your favorite athlete, we offer the same expert care that's provided to professional and Division I college athletes. Call today to get you back in action sooner.
And welcome back here to Bowling Green High School, where it is a final. Bowling Green gets the victory over South Warren, 20-13. Let's talk about this second half. Not a lot of scores to talk about, but what action there was. South Warren got the first score with 2:14 remaining in the fourth quarter. Third quarter was just back and forth. Defenses for both teams were just so strong in this contest. We're going to talk to DeMont Franklin here in just a little bit, defensive guy for Bowling Green, and really talk about what happened with that defense. But Velkamp found Jansen Dunn for the score, and that tied up the game at 13-13. But the Purples drive it down the field. Some big quarterback keepers for Connor Cooper. Put the Purples inside the 5-yard line. Vi Collins able to run it in from 3 yards out. The extra point good with 44 seconds remaining. Putting the Purples up by 20-13. And then we finally got through that final drive. A heave by Mason Willingham to try to get it towards the end zone. It did not get close. Knocked away by the Bowling Green defense, and the Purples hold on. They win the district. They move on to the third round of the KHSAA 5A state playoffs, and they will be taking on South Oldham next week at South Oldham. South Warren played there last year, ended up running it up on South Oldham, but this is a team that brought back a lot of guys from last year's team that made it to that state semifinal, and they're a team that has won by wide margins throughout the season. Only one loss in the year. It was the first week of the season, and that was the Christian Academy of Louisville. I think Bowling Green's got the chance to go up on the road and play with South Oldham. Should be a fantastic game. We're going to have it for you here on SDFanClub.com and the Sporting Times YouTube channel. Hope you guys will join us for that. And while we're waiting on Coach Franklin, let's go ahead and name our players of the game. They're brought to you by Leachman Buick GMC. And defensively, we're going to go with, and I talked about this with John. John had to step out. He'll be with me next week. But we're going with Kendall Pearson as the defensive player of the game. He was just in on so many tackles, so many big tackles in tonight's game. It seemed like we were talking about Kendall Pearson for a majority of the night, making big play after big play for the defense. So Kendall Pearson is our defensive player of the game. And then our offensive player of the game, I'm going with Connor Cooper because of that last drive of the game. It was Connor Cooper with delayed quarterback keepers, finding big holes on the line and driving that ball down the field. He didn't do it through the air. It was a struggle to get anything going through the air tonight for both teams. Neither team really completed a lot of passes tonight. But Connor Cooper, with his feet, was able to make something happen, and he really struggled to do that for a good portion of the game as well. But when it mattered, with the game tied, in the final 2 minutes of the game, Connor Cooper drives it down the field and gets it inside the 5 for Vi Collins to punch it in from 3 yards out. And so Connor Cooper is our offensive player of the game. So congratulations to those guys, our players of the game, brought to you by Leachman Buick GMC. So again, Bowling Green moving on. They will take on South Oldham. 2:19 remaining in the fourth quarter between Glasgow and Taylor County. Glasgow trailing, but they have the ball, but they've got a long way to go. They've got the ball on the 20 with 2:19 remaining, and they trail 14-20. So that's an update from one of the local teams here. Looking for any other updates. The only other ones we've been really able to find, Franklin Simpson get a big win over Allen County Scottsville, 56-20. So they will move on, and they will take on Franklin County in the next round. If Franklin County were to move on, we expect that they did. They're one of the heavy favorites around the state in 4A this evening. So that's going to be a tough matchup for Franklin Simpson. Russellville, their season comes to an end against Crittenden County, 41-3. Final score of that one. So we could be, by the end of the night, looking at 2 teams from the area remaining in Bowling Green and Franklin Simpson. So let's kind of look at some of the scores from around the area. Is there another game that I needed to keep an eye on? Let me look back at our games that we have to look at. Nope, that's all of them. Glasgow, Taylor, Russellville, Crittenden, and Franklin Simpson, Allen County, Scottsville. Again, Owensboro, big win over Graves County. They are up 43-0 at the end of the first half. So they had running clock already in the first half. South Oldham, a big win over North Bullitt. So there you go. Kind of the recap on all the finals of teams that matter to us. And as I finish that, now we bring on Coach Lamont Franklin here in the postgame show. Coach, thanks so much for joining us here. And, man, what a game that turned out to be. You knew coming in these were 2 pretty good defensive teams, allowing just 12 points per game, both of them just allowing 12 points per game. Defense set the pace for this, and you guys able to hold on and get the victory.
Yeah, you knew coming to this game you were going to see a pretty good ball game between 2 good teams. And, if you weren't here, you missed a good game. And if you were here, you saw a pretty good high school football game. And, you just want to take your hats off to South Warren. They played a great game. They fought hard. They got down there early. It was very easily for a team to quit right there. But, they stuck right with it, kept pounding it, came back, tied it up there. I thought we had a couple of seniors tonight that stepped up that wasn't ready to go home tonight. And, Vito and Dingle and Elvin, all those guys, they stepped it up tonight. And it was good to see them play like that tonight.
Coach Franklin joining us here in the post-game show. And, Coach, at the beginning of this game, it looked like the defense came out and was really stuffing the run early. You kind of mentioned they started to kind of break through. They found some big gaps kind of as the game went along. What was it that they were able to do to find those big gaps for Kobe Martin in the times they were able to get it?
They did some pretty good scheming there. I think, they come out the first couple of series and they ran a few plays and it looked like they made some adjustments over on the sidelines there later in the game. They had a good scheme coming up on us. They saw how tight we were squeezed in the middle, so they just schemed us up there. It was good adjustments by their coaching staff, and their team executed it. So, with them making adjustments, we have to make adjustments. And once we made our adjustments, our team, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but they executed our adjustments.
And you guys were able to put some pressure on you. And again, this is just it's a tough fought game. Talk about the emotions that were happening through this game, because this is a big rivalry. This is a game that it's picked up very quickly. Again, you guys have only played. This is the 5th meeting between the two schools, and yet it is ramped up to 11. Just talk about just the emotions through this week preparing for the game and then tonight in the contest.
You know, this is one of those games where when you win this game, you have bragging rights for a year. You know, and that's, you know, if you're on one of these teams, you don't want to lose because you don't have to go that whole year and hear about how you lost to that crosstown rival. You know, and all week our seniors have stepped up and, you know, took a leadership role, which, you know, they've had all year, but you could tell this week it was a little different. They had our team dialed in. You know, we didn't have the perfect practices that we would like to have, but, you know, even though we made some mistakes in practice, our seniors still stepped up, kept everybody together, kept everybody's their spirits high. And you could see out here, man, they played their butts off tonight, and I'm proud of them.
Coach Javon Franklin joining us here in the postgame. And, Coach, now you guys move on, and it looks like you guys are going to be hitting the road through the rest of the playoffs next week at South Oldham. You know, they've been a team that, you know, only one loss on the year against Christian Academy of Louisville first week of the season, and then they've pretty much steamrolled everybody else that they've played. Have you guys even taken a look at what they've been able to do, or what do you expect from them?
We've seen a few game films of them, but, you know, our focus was South Warren. You know, we'll start game planning them tomorrow.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're going to be a good team. They've lost one game. They're in the third round of the playoffs. So it's not going to be a cake game. We're going to have to go out and play another tough game like we did tonight. And if we play again like we did tonight, we should be able to see a victory.
Well, Coach, I got the chance to go up to South Oldham last year to cover South Warren in the state semifinals. You're going to be finding us behind you guys, calling it from the stands. So just be prepared for that. It's going to be an adventure. But, Coach, congratulations on tonight. This was a hard-fought game, and I'm excited to be continuing on this season with you guys, and it's going to be fun next week against South Oldham. Good luck on that game as well.
All right, thank you.
All right, Coach Franklin joining us here in the post-game show. Going to wrap things up. We already named our players of the game. Again, Kendall Pearson was our defensive, Connor Cooper, our offensive players of the game. And I want to give a couple shout-outs here. We found out a couple of former players on each side tuning in tonight on the stream. Jacob Lacey from South Warren watching from his hotel room as he's getting ready to take on Navy tomorrow. So we wish him good luck in that matchup. And, well, he might need it because Jamel Carruthers has really picked up some steam for the midshipmen. That should be a fantastic matchup. In fact, I had that listed on my games to watch tomorrow. I might have to sit down and watch it myself. That game is at 1:30 on NBC. Navy at Notre Dame. It's going to be a lot of fun for that one. So thank you to Jacob for watching and tuning in. And also big thanks to D'Angelo Wilson, who was tuned in as well. So thanks to those guys, of course, to everybody who tuned in. But let's go ahead and wrap things up here. Big thanks to all of our sponsors, including Graves Gilbert Clinic, WKONA Sports Medicine, Wendy's of Bowling Green, the Key Oil Company, McDonald's, Lawton Insurance, Citizens First Bank, Leachman Buick GMC, State Farm Insurance, Toyota of Bowling Green, the Bowling Green Visitors Bureau, and Mid-South Lumber, and Crossroads IGA. Big thanks to all those guys and their support of the Sporting Times Broadcast Network. Connor Frederick running the camera tonight. Hope you enjoyed all the great images he brought you on the Sporting Times Broadcast Network. And as always, a big thanks to all of you. I say it each time, and I'll say it again. We would not be here at L. Donaldson Stadium if you were not there. So thank you so much for joining us for tonight's broadcast. Join us next week. So we have the Purples versus South Oldham. And that's going to do it. For Connor Frederick, for John Crosby, I'm Joe Brunk. Final score, Bowling Green holds on for the win against South Warren 20-13. Good night from L. Donaldson Stadium. This has been Bowling Green Football on the Sporting Times Broadcast Network.